Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I know I got confused last time calling Saturday's podcast Much to Do About Nothing, but it was not. This is Much to Do About Nothing, and welcome to an all-new episode. Today we will be breaking down everything Marvel D23, going fully in depth with trailer breakdowns, all the news we heard after the fact, everything. All right, and we're gonna tell Trayvon why he should allow Feige to tell him things and not the internet. But we got a full show for you
Feige
guys.
hyped it up, so don't do that. Feige hyped it up.
We will break down as to why he did not, Trayvon.
Yes,
But we will get into all that in a moment. But before we jump into it, let me introduce our panel, starting off with Joel. What's up, Joel?
It's good. This was an interesting weekend. I was excited for at least 5 minutes. It was awesome.
At least 5 minutes? That was it? That was when you just pulled the plug?
Nah, there was definitely a span there where I thought it was going to just break off. So I was like, man, I guess a half hour. That the whole thing was really finally some new shit. This is what I was really excited about, you know.
Right.
But then,
Yeah.
and all Star Wars was really cool too. At least they started off a nice little appetizer,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of started slow with Marvel, and then they got good, and then it went like, oh, we're not going to give you nothing though. Like,
It got weird with Marvel. That's where I think it kind of caught me. Because I'm like, some of the news I was hearing was just like, what the fuck? Why is he in that? Why is she in
I
that?
love
Why
it.
are they in that? And I'm just like, this is
happy to hear
chaos.
new news is the best news. You know?
Because there was a possibility we could have got here and heard absolutely nothing. So I like whenever I hear anything. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Next up, the person that will learn before the end of this podcast that any news is good news. Trayvon, what's going on, Trayvon?
I'm here. D23 was mid. That's what the kids call it now, mid. I don't know. I think I know what it means. But yeah, so I'm just here we're gonna talk about this lackluster
Say something
thing
Say something
that at least, you know what, I will say something nice. It was better than what DC did at San Diego Comic-Con. How about that?
Oh, much better.
I mean, Trayvon, they brought one movie.
That is, I'm just saying.
Like,
that
they're
is the
setting bar
comparison.
low.
They
They're
brought
setting the
two
bar
movies,
low.
2 trailers.
Oh shit!
Two
I keep forgetting
trailers.
Shazam. Yes, sorry,
Woo.
2. I keep forgetting Shazam. That's my fault.
Yeah,
I'm just
on a panel, 2 panels.
I will say this, Trayvon. I will say
exclusive
this.
trailer.
I will say this. You want to know why I can't let you get away with saying it was just mid? Because let me ask you this, and you be honest, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If they actually released the Marvels trailer, you would have
Mhm.
considered that. You would have considered that day
It
a
was a win.
success, wouldn't you?
Yeah, something new that we ain't seen. Yes.
Okay, so that's why I say it can't be mid. You know
It
that
was
they have
mid.
to get. They have to give those people exclusives, Trayvon. We were lucky we got Werewolf by Night. We were lucky we got Secret Wars.
That was a must. That should come out in like 2 weeks. Son.
Oh yeah,
They
well
got-
no.
they got-
But to be fair, Joel, we didn't have a date. We just assumed it would be October.
I'm just saying, but
The
no,
trailer
but
is
like,
what let us
we
know
knew
that
it was
going to
be before Halloween.
Right,
Like, so
right.
it's
I
like,
mean, they got to see it on the big screen. That's exclusive.
No,
That give it to us.
it's
They'll
not
give us some
exclusive
more
if you give us
casting.
the same thing. Like, come
What
on,
if-
Trayvon, you know that.
Now, okay, whatever. I mean, hey, to each
Hey.
his own, I guess. You know, I just feel like I was let down. That's how
we
I
do
feel.
know we're gonna get the
So-
Guardians 3 trailer with the holiday special.
Yes, that will be the end of this year. I'm hearing Ant-Man and
but
the
you guys
Wasp
know I don't
Quantumania
really
trailer will
care
be
about
next
Guardians.
month.
But that is
But-
part of the whole. So just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not part of the whole.
It is. And you know what?
It's just gonna be separate again anyway.
If
Like,
you keep
he gonna
saying
make it
stuff
separate
like that,
again.
Trayvon, if you keep saying stuff like that, you know what Kevin's gonna do to you. You know he's
What's
gonna
that?
give you every goddamn trailer but the Marvels. He'll drop that shit like a day before it comes
I,
out.
honestly, I don't know the movie's real till I see it anyway. So
Why do you keep
You know?
saying you literally saw them get on stage and talk about it?
I ain't seen shit. All I saw
Yes,
was them
you
on
did.
stage. I saw them on stage. I ain't seen no footage.
So
I
wait,
ain't see
you, so hold
I
on,
ain't seen no
time out.
concept art. I ain't
So
seen
hold on.
shit.
You
So I
thought
don't
they
know.
got on stage and just went, "All right, guys, y'all take care," and then left?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, we'll
As
go with
far
that
as
narrative.
I ain't seen shit.
All right. Cool. We'll go with that narrative, Trayvon. I appreciate it. Cool. No problem. All right.
I saw Miss Marvel the show. That's all
I've
that.
been loving it.
No problem. No problem. We will go with that. Okay. You believe that. We will go with that. All right. Let's see what our comments are so far.
Kind
What's
of
up, listener
blasphemous
Jim?
bullshit.
What's up, listener Jim? Secret Wars does look intense.
Oh yeah.
I will only say I didn't feel as though it was intense because outside of the looming invasion, I still have no fucking concept.
Secret invasion. Like,
Yeah,
someone,
okay.
someone saw Secret
Secret
Wars.
Invasion.
Oh,
Please
no.
tell me,
Yeah. He meant
And
Secret
why
Invasion.
didn't they
He
tell
meant
me?
Secret Invasion. He meant Secret Invasion.
Joel's
Yeah,
like,
so
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Darnell? What's going on?
What up?
Why can't the DC people? Yeah, we're not talking about DC this podcast. Yeah,
We're in the process if we're lucky.
I'll bring them up.
Thunderbolts without Zemo doesn't make sense, or maybe they're holding out on us.
think
Well,
they're
holding
holding
out
out.
would not make any sense.
I think they're holding out.
That to me would make absolutely no
The
sense.
team doesn't even make sense. So you really, really want to try to make sense of this?
Well, no, I'm saying if you're holding him, like, do you mean holding him out like he'll be a surprise
No,
member?
not a surprise, but they're gonna eventually announce it later.
Then
With
that's
more
why I
with
say.
more info.
Then that's why I say, unless
think
you're
they're
telling me the
play-
surprise
playing-
info is that he's the villain that then later becomes the leader.
Thunderbolts is
then
2
that's
years
fine.
away. There's way more stuff they're not telling us. That's all.
That's fair, but if you're telling me Zemo's part of this team and you
I'm
just
telling you,
decided to
there's more
hold
to
that
this
out,
cast
yeah,
than what
that's
we
weird.
saw. That's
That's
what I'm
weird to
telling
me. Yeah, that's weird to me. That's super weird. That's just the one thing like you didn't need to. What'd you hide that for? like that was the weirdest thing to hide. What's up, Mike? I did force you to be here. I did.
It's my day off, and he forced me to be here. But I'm good, man. How's it going?
Good. Now you know what Trayvon goes through. Trayvon will be like, man, it's my day off now. You're coming in. So.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
ain't much to talk about, to be honest. So,
There is a lot to talk about. There's just nothing you want to talk about. Red
Well, let's
Hulk
go right
is
into
also
Guardians.
a must. For Thunderbolts, no, I don't believe he's
Red
a
Hulk a
for
must? No,
Thunderbolts.
that's a little
No.
much. I mean, I would like it, but no.
I don't need 3 super soldiers. That's all I'll say on that.
I mean, again, their roster, and that's why I said to give me that roster and purposely leave Zemo off would be one of the more confusing like I would have been more interested if Zemo was there and the surprise was like Bucky joined. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like, what the fuck? Why is Bucky there?
Zemo running the shit. That's why.
Maybe. I think also what caught me off guard
Don't
was
sleep.
in the list, like in that list of characters, right? I think what mainly caught me off guard was like Val was there as though she was part of the team.
That's what
I thought
mean.
she was just leading the team.
She did.
Like,
But-
I thought she was there Amanda Waller. So seeing her part of it was just like, you
It's
fight?
the presentation is just they were just announcing who's going to be in the movie so far. And that's
Okay.
not all of the movie. You know, I don't think she'll be out there fighting with her.
I'd assume it's like how Nick Fury's on every Avengers poster
Right.
for like the first movie. It's
Okay,
like, yeah,
gotcha.
Samuel L. Jackson's in this movie, and then sequels, he's not on the poster of Age of Ultron,
Right,
really,
but he's
you know?
in-
or he's like stashed in the corner, way in the back there, if he's on there at all.
I will say though that this first poster that they showcase did show you who gets paid the most. Because as it weans, you kind of see people like, oh yeah, no, you're not. You're not Florence Pugh. I get why you're all the way back there.
She won.
But who won?
Hold on, let me make sure. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, well, just don't be jumping off the ledge like that.
They're
Goddamn,
saying like
Trayvon.
that, man.
Goodness gracious. But all right, so we're talking. Let's start with Thunderbolt since we're already talking about it.
Started to
All right.
run.
I don't know really what information we got outside of the fact that Thunderbolts is a movie. This is essentially the starting cast, the starting lineup. We'll say we don't know who the reserve players are.
Right.
And that it comes out in what, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
2.
Yeah. So
Comes out
Did-
in,
did seeing this actual
2022.
lineup, Joel, add to your intrigue, or was it like, nah, I'm reserved. I'll wait till we hear more.
I am more intrigued. I was expecting, what's his name? Abomination, but again, I don't know. This is the final roster.
He's got to stay on the farm with his 7
Yeah,
soulmates.
7 black.
Sure,
There's still a lot to
Ralph wants
tell
have
there.
it.
So and I think Thunderbolts. Well, no, Fantastic Four is right. In phase 5, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
So Thunderbolts like is right before it, and there's like 2 shows probably before that or something like that. So yeah, we'll see. I do think there's a lot more to the Thunderbolts than they've told us. But yeah, so far like I was intrigued by the Red Guardian because I was wondering if we were going to get him again. Cool. We already knew Walker was going to be in it. Bucky being in it was surprising. Though I knew they were going to put him somewhere. I guess this is a spot.
Well, remember, we had hoped that they would do more appropriate things with Bucky.
Yeah,
I
do
wanted
not
to believe
believe
this was on our bingo board. This was
but I mean, it's not like they're all stuck here. You know what I mean?
No, right.
It's a weird team to begin with.
To be honest, if you still plan on calling him the Winter Soldier, this is a very apropos place. But the problem of that is he ended Falcon and the Winter Soldier very much at peace with not being the Winter Soldier.
I think this is also a good spot to get a new nickname.
That would be lovely, because calling him Winter Soldier after he said, I worked so hard to stop being the Winter Soldier. And they're just like, bitch, you don't make decisions.
I need a new tag.
They literally gave him the name White Wolf, though. That's the thing that's kind of annoying.
He's not fully embraced it, though.
You gave him a new name, and you had all these Wakandans show up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You think that would have stuck a little bit more.
I like it.
I think maybe, because me and Joel talked about it like around when Chadwick had passed, like not long after it. Maybe they want to hang on to that to actually use it for the person it should be used for. I mean, because to me, I'm like, you didn't solidify it enough to where I'm like, well, that's Bucky. No,
they haven't. Not really. But I don't see them giving it to anyone else at this point. And the person it was supposed to go to was like a stepbrother who was white, and I don't think see that happening. So,
I will say I got a little confused when they were like, "No, Bucky stays here in Wakanda, and his name's White Wolf." I was just like, "I don't think you're doing that, are you? like you're not gonna really make him White Wolf, right?" It's like, "Oh, okay, all right, it's just a nickname." All right, scared me a little bit.
If you can keep the name,
because I'm like, he lost the arm, didn't have the arm at the moment, and they're like White Wolf, and I'm like, be careful, Kevin. Be careful.
Look,
be careful.
They had, they kind of tried to validate it with having the black character say it.
They really did.
They had the black characters keep saying it to him.
They hammered it home like White Wolf. White Wolf. I'm just like,
I don't mind it. I just, I don't see that character ever being utilized correctly in MCU, so why not?
Yeah, I think now that'll just be a name that just doesn't get used anymore going forward.
If they don't utilize it, then I agree.
Yeah, because I think he needs a different nickname. I think the Wakanda phase is past. I think the Winter Soldier phase is past, and I don't think you're just gonna call him Bucky. So,
I mean, also a nickname. Yeah, you could call him Bucky because they don't go by their hero names 90% of the time anyway.
No, I get you, but I think Bucky was supposed to be something intimate between Barnes and Steve.
Bucky Barnes. That's how he was introduced during the panel.
Oh, that was how he was introduced. I mean, Barnes. Yeah, there's so many different things you could call him. I just needed to stop being Winter Soldier. That's really
you can't have a whole thing where him like basically distancing himself from the name for him to keep using.
Yeah, I feel like he should keep it, embrace it. Who's gonna check him?
Excuse me?
Who's gonna check him?
He should keep using it. He should keep using it. Keep using it, and nobody gonna say nothing. What y'all gonna say?
The whole point, Trayvon, was that he checked it. That was the whole point
of
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He don't need to.
He was saying, I want to stop being this. Like, I want to stop the urges of wanting to kill and all
that. You can always go back to being Lieutenant Barnes. That's the thing.
Okay,
the simplest answer.
Keep that fear, though. Keep that fear.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier did nod at that. Like, remember where Bucky was walking and one of the soldiers had acknowledged him as being a lieutenant. And he felt like, oh, shit. Y'all remember that? It's like, yeah, bro, we didn't only hear about Steve. Like, you were in it. Like, weird stories about you, too. I just don't want them to go backwards, Trayvon, because then it kind of makes my entire time of watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier useless outside of just seeing
Sam
become Captain America. I'm like, you could have just did that in the fucking movie. I need a whole series of this wasted shit.
I like the sir. So
I'm saying if you take out Bucky trying to become a better person, I essentially only had that show for Sam to become Captain America. You could have done that any other place besides its own series.
That's something that has to be added in the future, of course.
100%. I want to bring out what listener Jim is saying here. And Joel, before I pass it to Mike, you can speak to this because we actually did talk about this Saturday.
Ooh. No, they don't. Do they have to recast it? If they're going to use him again, they could just kill him off. Like we were talking about, like you said the other day, and we're like, the Thunderbolts could be named after him in honor of him. You know what I mean? He could have been behind it with Val.
Right.
And, they have to come up with a name for this team, and it could be called the Thunderbolts. Project Thunderbolts.
Essentially, he got the okay from the government to
it's
fund
his
it.
team. Right.
Right.
It's almost like we never got the Hulkbusters traditionally, right?
Right.
So it could be like that. And, yes, Red Hulk was the leader of the Thunderbolts in the comic books. But there was a Thunderbolts way before Red Hulk was ever a member. You know what I mean?
And the idea of him creating it makes a lot more sense because remember how Endgame ended, right? Because Endgame, because you don't count Black Widow because that was a prequel. Endgame was the last time we saw him in the MCU, and then he, obviously he passed more recently, and we won't see him again. So I'm saying after Endgame, where Rhodey hung up on him, he easily could have went to the government and go, "Look, these motherfuckers are unruly. I can't control them. We need a team we can control." And they're like Blonsky, he's like, no, not like that, motherfucker. Better.
They wanted
no, he's like better than that.
That's why I still suspect we'll get Blonsky, but they were definitely considering Blonsky for the Avengers over Bruce at one point.
That's fair. That is fair. That is totally fair. So I'm like, yes, I think you go that route. And as far as Red Hulk, I don't think it needs to be Thunderbolt Ross.
It doesn't, though. The mystery would be funner this way too.
It would be. Who's the Red
Hulk?
Hulk?
That was a whole thing. We didn't know who the Red Hulk was, and then we found out it was Ross, and he never had a mustache. It was the weirdest thing. He was like the mustache would burn off, like when
burned
he became
it off,
Red Hulk,
which is crazy.
And then grow back.
It would grow back instantly when he came back into Ross.
So
it's just like, that's magic.
Now you don't got to worry about it if unless the person has facial hair.
Right.
But,
it's Keanu Reeves.
Well, it's gonna be funny, Joel. It's gonna be funny is the idea of like if it's a character we already know. Once we hear the voice, it's just like, well, we know who you are. So it would have to be a completely new character.
You can definitely change it up with his, because even the Abomination sounds different now. So he sounds normal again. You know what I mean?
I don't remember him talking in Incredible. I gotta rewatch that. Oh yeah, they were more brute. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they were more.
He would actually talk, but it was like really deep voice. Now he kind of still sounds like himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which to me is like, I guess, even though Bruce never sounded, and I don't mean MCU, I mean in the history of Bruce and Hulk, they were never supposed to sound the same because Hulk was supposed to be a whole nother person.
That's the why, though.
It's like to hear Abomination sound the same as Blonsky is like, well, I don't have an issue with it, but it's weird. It's a little weird.
It's very strange. Yeah.
Well, now because he's become like at peace, like sort of like with Banner.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I mean, I think we all agree there, right? That I don't. To me, I think that's too big of a name and a presence to recast. I think you just evolve from it.
There was too much of him in this series to just recast him like that. So yeah, you might, if you do have Red Hulk, you may surprise us with a new person as the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
You can also just do Red She-Hulk.
You could do Red She-Hulk. I'd rather not. But yeah.
Joel's like, please don't.
Because I mean that ended up being fucking Betty. Like, you know what I mean?
It's so weird. I love how the MCU after Incredible Hulk, they were just like, Betty, what the fuck is that? We're like, no, bro, she was in a whole movie. Like, yeah, I don't know who that is. So yeah, move on. Yeah. Natasha's his girl. It's just like, it's weird, but okay. Like, that's a weird decision you made there, guys. But okay, she's like the one you want to keep out.
That was a what do they call it in a work romance.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a 1-movie deal. They're just like, hey, you don't love her after this. Get rid of it.
I mean, he probably did. That's why he left, to keep her safe. Everyone.
No. I mean, just the idea. We haven't even heard her name. Like, it just seems like she's gone. She just disappeared.
She did. She died.
That's apparently what happened. Yeah, that's apparently exactly what happened. She died. She's gone. She'll never be back. As I pass it to you, Mike. Well, listener Jim, I will say really quickly before I pass to you, Mike. Abomination being part of this, I don't ever need Abomination and Red Hulk like that. I already have too much.
Yeah, I don't need that's again redundancies. It seems like this team is full of that, so it's fine. But
yeah, we don't need to double down on it.
Yeah, we don't
need to double down on it. Absolutely not.
Though it would be fun to watch. Maybe Red Hulk is a villain, and they go after him, and they're trying to figure out who it is and shit like that. But I think there's more to the Hulk stories. We'll get more Hulk stories down the line, it seems. But
let me ask you this really quickly, and I promise I'm passing it to you, Mike. Do you think we'll ever get a Hulk team like Scar, like Bruce, Red Hulk, and Jen? Like yes, like that animated series. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. Silly ass show. I forgot what was it called? What was it called?
Fuck! It was the Agents of Smash.
Agents. I hated that name even more.
Agents of Smash. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
you know why I hated that show? I'm sitting there watching the strongest beings ever created in Marvel. Right. I'm watching Red Hulk shoot guns, and I'm just sitting there like,
Red Hulk shot.
I think you're forgetting what you're doing. Like what you.
Had Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, Scar, and A-Bomb.
An A-Bomb, and they had like a little fucking dog.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like a dinosaur dog or some shit.
You might get a version. You might get a version of it. Yeah.
Well, let me be clear. I don't think they'll be the Agents of Smash. I just mean, do you ever think we'll see them working together?
I do. I think we'll get a version of it.
Okay.
You might not get A-Bomb though.
I don't need A-Bomb. I'm remembering him, and I don't need.
But you might get Braun. I mean, that's interesting.
I think 4 Hulks is good enough for me.
Especially
with me not knowing what Abomination's going to be in the future.
I mean, let's cut it. Might have a Hulkapalooza. Everyone's like, not enough Hulk.
We complained about having Hulk for the last decade, and now it's overkill, huh?
Yeah. Yes. I'm watching Jen, and I'm like, that might be enough for me. I can stop there. But Mike, what are your thoughts on this Thunderbolts lineup? And were you excited to see what the actual lineup was?
Yeah, I was excited. And then I see the lineup, and now I'm not excited. and here's the thing, like, individually, I like all of these characters, but I just have no interest seeing them work together because they're all, like, C-list, like, sidekick characters that they put on this team. And I feel like we could have gotten a more interesting roster if we had new characters involved as well. Like, you know, you have the Suicide Squad, right? You have Rick Flag and Harley Quinn come back, but then you add, you know, a bunch of new characters there. So if we're gonna have Bucky and Yelena be the leads of this movie, I don't need Red Guardian here. I don't need Taskmaster here. You can add 2 new characters in those slots, and I think it'd be more interesting because I just don't care. That's really where I'm at, where I just don't care enough about these characters in this grouping. Like, if Bucky is with Captain America, either one, cool. Bucky being, like, the lead with Discount Black Widow, I don't know how I feel about that.
Discount Black Widow.
And again,
Yelena doesn't deserve that, Mike.
Yelena's great if you pair her up with Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. But again, if it's just her and Bucky and that's the draw, I don't care. And, you know, again, that's not even saying that the movie's bad, but if you're trying to say, hey, this is still of the next Marvel movie, are you excited? I'm just going to be honest and be like, no, I'm not.
Well, let me ask you this, because me and Joel talked about this for almost 72 hours. Knowing, because we believe, let me just say, we believe. Shut up, Trayvon.
No, I'm actually being serious because I don't have anybody to talk to like
that. I keep telling you have us to talk to. No, but it is good because I tell you, the theories I come up with, it's good to have somebody to go, no, that's stupid. So I don't ever get to tell you guys because Joel stops it before it gets that far. But let me ask you, Mike, would you be more interested going forward knowing, and again, this is just me theorizing, Yelena and Bucky will not remain Thunderbolts. They'll be gone, let's say, after this movie. Or maybe some point in the movie, right? Because they're Avengers, right? So they're not going to stay Thunderbolts, they're Avengers. The rest of them are not Avengers and can 100% stay Thunderbolts for however fucking long you want them to. So if I remove Bucky and Yelena, right? And obviously they're going to plug that in, let's say maybe Abomination and whoever else. Maybe Zemo. I know people are going crazy. Put Zemo in that motherfucker. If they take those two characters out, does that intrigue you a little bit more going forward with the Thunderbolts?
It depends who they drop in, because again, out of everyone here, those are the only two I care about.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
So-
true. Here's the thing, too, though. You gotta remember, and this is just me. I can't speak for everybody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did not give a fuck about WandaVision, Loki, like a lot of those shows that they were mentioning. I was like, oh, that does not sound very exciting at all. I changed my mind after watching them, obviously.
Yeah.
But I at the first hearing about it, you're like, well, that doesn't sound intriguing at all. Agatha, the fuck, like, I bet it's gonna be good though.
I will say where I split the fence here between you, Joel, and you, Mike, is as I pass to you, Trayvon, is I kind of get where Mike's saying, because I'm with you, Joel. You know, I was against Loki. I was vehemently against that shit, right? But here's the problem. I'm still fucking against it. I loved the show. It was great. So was WandaVision. It was great. If you told me tomorrow Agatha and Loki just disappeared, never to return, I'd lose not a fucking wink of sleep, right? So I'm in the position to where Mike's saying, I truly don't give a fuck about these characters. But it has nothing to do with my excitement for how good this project still can be. But if you told me that these characters were fucking gone, I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. So I'm split in the middle, because I'm like, I also don't care, right? Like, I thought I was going to see Ghost way sooner than we actually did. So much so I fucking forgot. So when I saw the photo, I was just like, that's a really interesting new character. What design is that? I'm like, oh shit, that's Ghost. Oh, yeah, okay, this makes sense. We expected Ghost would pop back up again. I just thought it'd be sooner. But this makes sense,
we did
right?
say it would be the Thunderbolts, though.
We thought that would be the exact spot for it, right? But it just felt like so long between Ant-Man and the Wasp, and now I just forgot. I completely forgot. So I'm split in the middle, because I did love Loki. I thought that was a very well done show. I thought that show was hard to do, because you're taking a character that has died 4 fucking times, right? And you found a way to make it interesting.
Interesting, and make you care again about
right.
Loki,
Hat off to you. I just believe the longer you hold on to this motherfucker, the more the audience will not let you ever let him go. And the motherfucker needs to be let go. He has veered off from Thor to having his own shit. That is unacceptable. That is fucking unacceptable.
Man.
You know?
That's how spin-off comics work, my guy.
No, but Mike, the only reason I say that, and Trayvon, I'm passing it to you, only reason I say that, Mike, is to be consistent. Because a lot of us shitted on DC taking Joker to give him his own fucking movie, let alone a sequel to that said movie, right? So I'm like, well, if I don't think that makes any fucking sense, why am I sitting here allowing Loki to do this crazy shit? You know? Because to me, I'm like, you've now used Loki so much. He's a fucking hero. That should never fucking be the case. That you use a villain so long. You're just like, well, we can't keep him a villain. Well, then kill the motherfucker. Like, let him die. That's it.
They did kill him. This is not even the same Loki anymore. He is an evolved man.
Oh.
You know?
If he's not in the next Thor, I will severely lose my fucking patience. I tell you that.
But even those costumes, it's just concept art. They're not even gonna be wearing. Some of these people won't even look like this.
Oh, fair. Yeah, Taskmaster needs a tremendous upgrade. U.S. Agent will probably look exactly like that. Bucky, more or less.
My question is, how many of them get
less.
shields, right?
Well, that will be an interesting thing, where Taskmaster, Red Guardian,
and U.S. Agent are like, what the?
All go reaching for shields, and they're like, oh, that's yours, my bad.
Too many copycats. I don't need 3 super soldiers. That's the problem.
So,
None of us disagree with you.
but the government wants a lot of them, so this works for them.
This is probably how it got sold to Ross to approve it. Is hey, look at all these super soldiers.
We have our own super soldiers now.
And Ross is like, interesting. Is there any side effects? None. I like it. Make them a team. Put them together. Throw that shit together. I like it.
Yep.
But all right, Trayvon. So we're looking at it here. What do you think of this roster?
Let's see. So, Taskmaster. Well, yeah, they're there.
They
Ghost
are.
is very cool to be there because I thought the ability or power, I'm assuming she has control of it now. Maybe she does. Cool. Is she still doing that random phaser shit? I don't know what you're here for.
I'm pretty sure they fixed it at the end of the movie, right? Like
I
they
think
came up
so.
with a cure for
They
it.
alluded to
They
that, yeah.
stabilized
It's been a while,
it.
too,
I
so.
think the end of the movie, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, I can't believe I'm blanking on.
Janet Van Dyne, the
yes.
Wasp.
Janet. Well, here's the
Yeah.
problem. They completely skipped over her to go right to her daughter. So when I think Wasp, I think
They created that
her
character
daughter.
too for movies.
right. So when she got out of the portal, Trayvon, she grabbed her and helped stabilize her.
Yeah, I remember,
And
but
then
I don't
she ran
remember her.
off.
Like, I didn't remember her still having the ability. I thought it like
I think that's how she
cured her,
escaped.
kinda.
Well, I think it cured the sickness she had that was killing her, but I don't think it got rid of the ability. And even if it did, it would be nice to see that in like a flashback that she was still working with Giant Man, and he created a suit for her.
Goliath.
Goliath. Sorry, Goliath is what I meant. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You've got to get Goliath and Fury in a movie together at some point, right?
I mean, yes. And we need Goliath to be brought back in case Keanu Reeves gets cast in the MCU. I just need Morpheus and Neo in as many scenes together as possible. That's why I'm like, thank God for John Wick. But no, I think Trayvon, if she did lose her abilities when she got stabilized, that it's a good chance that they create a suit for her that allows her to do what she was able to do with the powers. So I think either way, she'll still be able to use that because you need her to. She's the only one of the motherfuckers that has something different than the other. So it's like, so you kind of need her to. You depend
Literally
on
is the only one that does something different.
So you kind of need it.
She's a stealth character. Her and Yelena.
True.
Right, they are your stealth. Yes.
I guess for me, the main thing I'm looking forward to with this team is Red Guardian bothering Bucky about Captain America questions.
Oh, that would be
and eventually them getting fighting.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want to see him get on
Also-
his nerves enough. Or he's like, I'm sick of this shit.
Also,
So they
don't
start
forget,
fighting.
Trayvon. Don't forget, there is a slight possibility that the Winter Soldiers are more feared name in Russia
Oh, yeah.
than the Red Guardian.
Cool.
So
That's even more fun.
Bucky might even walk around
100%.
like, "Yo, bitch, Russia's mine." Like, ask
That's
around,
more
ask
fun.
them. No, go ahead, ask them. They know me.
More feared than
So
Russia,
that would be hilarious.
The Legend of the
100%.
Winter Soldier is definitely a wider span than the Red
The
Guardian.
Red
There
Guardian.
definitely is. I don't know. Like I was, you
That'll
guys
fuck
were talking
their
about the
head for sure.
shows and stuff earlier. I didn't care about the shows at first either. 'Cause I didn't understand what they had to do with, like the overall arc or whatever. But once I told you, I still have problems with. I think I got like 3 episodes out of Loki that I like. The rest of it, I was just like, this can go.
What? Show's amazing.
To me,
I'm with
Yeah.
Trayvon on this one. I did not care for Loki that much.
It
The
really
one-
came down to the finale. That was just like, oh, well, it's
For me,
validated.
Wanda-
That's just me then. I thought it was my favorite of that first phase.
No, it's generally considered the best of the Marvel shows.
I don't know why.
It's just not my thing.
Wait, you
Um,
mean out of like WandaVision?
Right,
Yeah,
out of the
Wanda
Disney
and
Plus
the
stuff.
Winter
out of the
Soldier.
first phase of
Oh,
shows.
well, yeah. To me, that's not even arguable.
Yeah.
It's 100% Loki. Because
Right.
what are you telling me its competition is?
It's WandaVision.
The second half
You
of
do
WandaVision.
you.
The second
WandaVision,
half of WandaVision.
Hawkeye.
A witch comedy, and then an after-school special, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah,
I like
You,
Falcon.
you said which? That's all that matters. Okay?
got you. No,
The
I got you.
witchy shit.
I keep forgetting. I'm
Is it?
sorry.
Like,
Sorry. I was witching. I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with this. The first question I had was, why would you be on this team in the first place when you know she lied to you already?
Yeah, that bothered me a little.
I still have a problem with that. And how did you get on this team? And why is Bucky on the team? You're not a villain. So
it makes
like,
no
Nah.
sense, man. I don't
Well,
know.
time out. Hold on, really quickly, Trayvon,
So-
because me and Joel were saying this Saturday. Remember, this is not being pitched as a Suicide Squad. This is being
Right.
pitched as a replacement for the Avengers. So for Bucky, he's probably thinking, all right, well, this is a perfect chance for me to showcase I'm not the Winter Soldier anymore. I am a good guy that people can trust and believe in. I'll do it. And then I think somewhere down the line, it'll start to shift to where it's like, you had us doing some real fucked up shit today. Like,
but you know,
I don't like this.
the one that's in the group though that already knows that what's her name is shady
Val.
already is Elena. Like you already know,
Right. Yeah.
So
I
it's
agree with you
like-
there.
But
Why
that's
would
probably
you?
also how she gets paid. That's her well-being that comes from that woman.
But also,
money saved all these assassinations.
I just wonder, like, why is Bucky so comfortable being on a team with U.S. Agent? Like, I know they kind of
That'll
seemed like
be-
they were cool
Which you
at
have
the
to
end
That's
of
what I'm saying. They seemed very fine at the end of that show.
They did.
I'd still be like, any team where this guy is
But that's
potentially the
also
leader.
the point. Like, there's not supposed to. This is not supposed to be a team that gets along, either. That's the whole. That's the dynamic they're trying to sell. Bucky's the most. He said it. It'll be the most stable character on the team.
That's sad,
That's
man.
That
That's
is-
sad.
It's sad, but
That
it can
is
be
sad.
a lot of fun. It
But
can be
that's
a lot
what's
of
also the point.
fun. But to be fair, also when you flip it, remember for the Suicide Squad, remember Deadshot was the most stable of all those crazy motherfuckers, and that was the most unstable.
Yes,
motherfucker.
listen to Jim. I agree. Yes,
Was the
one
best of the first. Oof.
I
One
enjoyed
of
it.
them.
I enjoyed it a
God
lot.
bless you, listener Jim. God bless you.
So much
God
fun.
bless you.
That's episode 1.
I looked for that fun. I couldn't.
It
find
had
it.
one of the best action scenes for damn sure. Arguably the best action scene. That first scene, the first
Wait,
first
out
episode,
of that
plane
first
episode?
handful of shows, or out of all the shows so far?
of the first phase, the first year.
100%. Yes, 100%, without a doubt. That
Yeah, I got it. Now
finale.
if you say that comparing it to this year's, I got to think about it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
Like-
even put it top 10 of what we have altogether, include like as to now.
you said you wouldn't
no.
put it top 10?
No, as
The
what we have
airplane
everything
scene?
now.
He
Oh,
hates
you-
Anthony Mackie.
You're
so.
crazy.
No, well, to be fair, I'm partially biased because I could put at least
Partially.
5 Moon Knight fights
No.
in my
Ah!
top
Wait, you saw
You know
Moon
what?
Knight fight?
You don't
What
want
show
to
were
talk
you
about.
watching?
You don't want me to get into
Moon
that now.
Knight
You
fought
want me
all
to get
the
into
time.
Moon
What are you
Knight?
talking about?
I can get into Moon Knight now.
No,
I put-
crazy.
I put
I
at that
remember
fake
him waking
carnival.
up. I remember him waking
Okay.
up bloody all the time.
Okay, exactly. No
Moon
shit
Knight fought
happened.
plenty of
Nothing happened.
times. First of all,
God.
Moon Knight fought in the finale. Moon Knight fought in that fair. What was that with the guy that passed away? Where they were at like that carnival ground or whatever
Yes.
the fuck it was. He fought there.
Where
He
he
fought
didn't
the
bleed?
Beast in episode 1. He fought some in episode 2. He fought the whatever that monster thing was. Beat the fuck out of it and then stabbed it. And then slammed
Impaled
it on the impaled it. We saw Moon Knight fight.
He got
plenty of
stabbed
times.
as well, but didn't bleed. But
Trayvon, okay. He's
I'm
again.
just
You got to
saying.
remember. Here's the
he got
thing.
stabbed.
But here's the
hard
thing
and
you
didn't
keep
bleed.
forgetting. Here's the thing you keep
Several
forgetting. Here's the thing you keep forgetting.
Same.
I kept trying to tell you, and I was trying to explain it to Blake
Not
too.
a drop of blood.
The reason why him not bleeding didn't bother me is because they completely changed it. His suit was mystic. So I'm like, it's not hard to believe that if the suit's mystic like that, there are some abilities of that suit that maybe prevents him from actually being harmed enough to start
I'm
bleeding.
pretty sure that's exactly what it is. 'cause
It's kinda
Right.
boring
It's not
for
the
your
same
street level
anymore.
characters to not
Okay.
bleed, though.
I don't disagree with you. I was very upset with that change of making it more mystic when I was like, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
why?
it's
But
more-
that's what they
more
did.
supernatural, yeah.
Right, that's what they did. So now that's why he does not bleed. So that's why I was able to immediately wrap my head around it. Well, they changed a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
bleeding apparently
He's
is
not a normal dude.
right,
like,
because
he's
Moon
like,
Knight
you know-
lived for blood. That was the whole reason of wearing white, was to showcase the blood. So for me, whatever. You didn't bleed, whatever. Fuck it. It's the least of my issues with that shit. But did you have anything else for Thunderbolts, Trayvon?
No, not really. No.
All right, let's go on to Werewolf by Night. I want to move on to Werewolf by Night because man, was that a shocker! Wow, like
At least we got something.
at least we got what?
So at least we got something.
Oh,
Sorry.
like you mean
I was just
footage?
petty. Yeah.
No, you mean okay. I got it. Well, like Joel said, it comes out in like what 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That would have been hard to start your promo for that. What 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Really cutting it close. Even though they somewhat did that with Thor, they did hold that trailer for as long as fucking possible. But no, Werewolf by Night, man, it looks brilliant. It looks brilliant. It looks so good. It makes me want to go back and watch The Wolfman in black and white if that's even fucking available. like this is fucking perfect. I think my only issue, as I pass it to you, Mike, I think my only issue will be is the fact that this is like essentially like a holiday special. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it looks so good. I kind of feel like no matter how it ends, I want more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not episodic. It's just this is it. You know?
Yeah.
But
It's like a TV movie. Is that what it is?
I guess so to a degree,
yeah.
depending on how long it is.
They're not very clear on what the special presentation means.
They're not at all. But luckily for us, within the next week and a half, people will start to get screeners or whatever, and they'll be able to give us a better idea on what is it? Like, is it 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes, 60
How long
minutes,
is
90
it?
minutes?
They
Yeah.
actually giving screeners of this thing?
I can't imagine they're going into this raw. This is too new of a character to just go, here, take it, y'all.
We're
You
getting
need
Werewolf
some
by Night.
feedback.
That's so. You know, I say that a lot, but it is Marvel. Like,
Well,
we're
to be
getting
fair,
who?
To be fair, I think we're now in a space for Marvel. As I pass it to you, Mike, we're in a space for Marvel to where the longer they go, the more obscure names pop up, and we go.
And I am so here for it.
Huh.
So
Go ahead, Trayvon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear about this thing all the time. I know it's connected to Moon Knight in some kind of way. Give me like a quick like synopsis of what this thing is. It looks
Werewolf?
cool. Yeah. Werewolf by Night. What is it? Like what? Like I know what werewolf is.
No,
Like,
I wasn't gonna disrespect you like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you meant like
It's in the name,
the story
Trayvon.
behind him or like the story of how he became the
Why is it called Werewolf by Night? Like what is that? Like what?
We have no idea what this character is.
Significantly.
Somebody tell us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll first start with the connection with Moon Knight is the fact that the first appearance was fighting Moon Knight.
Okay.
So that was the significance
Yeah,
of
he
that.
debuted in
Right.
the Werewolf by Night comic book.
Okay.
Moon
Right.
Knight did.
They're not connected in the sense that you
is
can't
not
have
either character. That is Man Thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's not go to Man
Throw that
Thing
in
yet,
there.
Jayla, because that might start to confuse some people. Let's not go there.
There is
yet.
no Jayla, only me.
Oh,
Oh.
I love the way you said that. I'm sorry, Mike. Let's stick with Werewolf by
you
Night.
gotta say it
for now.
right though. Yeah,
Um,
there is no jail.
So let me just say, Trayvon, because I'm sure a lot of people have heard it and they got a little confused. There is no, like, there has to be Moon Knight if there's Werewolf by Night, or there has to be Werewolf by Night if there's. They're not that connected. It's just we assume they'll meet at some point soon because of how they were originated in the comics. That's
One question real quick. Also,
Yeah.
people thought that that's what it was at the beginning of Moon Knight, right? At first, people thought.
Well, yes, they thought that big
at the
thing,
beginning.
yes, was. I don't know why, but yes, people thought that. I thought that would have been a very weird way to introduce Werewolf by Night. It's to essentially have Moon Knight just stomping the dog shit out of him, and then that was it. Like that would have been very weird. Like, aren't you the guy who got his ass beat by Moon Knight? Why do we care? So it was good that he wasn't in it at all outside of the QR code.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the actual character, I think, Joel, it essentially goes about the same way as a werewolf, right?
It's in his bloodline. Like it's like his grandfather became. I forgot how. I just know he's a werewolf, and it's like it goes down the bloodline, and then he's related. It's something to do with his bloodline, and so when it comes to him, he doesn't really see it coming because I think he grew up apart from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, fuck, I'm a werewolf. One of those
Right.
things.
And it seems like for this show, Trayvon, that these monster hunters find out about him. It seems like he might have recently gone through the transformation and can't control it, right? So he's out eating the fuck out of towns and shit. So it seems like they assemble this team of monster hunters to essentially see who's strong enough to kill this werewolf. Because the scenes you get of, Werewolf by Night, he kind of seems terrified because it looks like, I'm not saying it is, I don't know. It looks like it's all new to him, right? Like it's very like, I don't know what's going on. I can't really control it.
It looks like he's one of them too.
Like
he's sitting with them.
Because remember, she says, one of you in this room is not who who we think you are. So that's why I said it seems like maybe he's not cognitive that he turns into a werewolf. So that's why I said when you see him a few times, he looks terrified because maybe he doesn't even know he's the werewolf. So that's why making this a murder mystery is fucking.
That's pretty cool too.
Amazing.
Yeah. we got a pretty good look at him in that one picture I sent you, that multiverse picture.
I see what you're saying. Yes, no, I know exactly.
The Ant-Man thing was in that shot.
I'm trying to see if I can send it to Mike. Hold on.
But it's not just them, because it's I got the name right here. Give me 1 second.
Let me see.
Gael Garcia Bernal is playing Jack Russell.
The picture from Avengers Campus? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I already got it. 1 sec.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see where the Werewolf by Night in the corner. And then Man-Thing in the other corner.
Man-Thing is a great callback to Thor Ragnarok.
Man-Thing, there was a Man-Thing movie just before the MCU started, which was shitty.
I don't remember that at all. That's why. Can you zoom in, Mike? Do you see him? Can you zoom in on him?
Where's the werewolf?
Oh, he's right there. Literally right there.
On the right side.
Right here by She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Correct. Right behind She-Hulk.
And Man-Thing's right here by Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Correct.
Got you.
Man-Thing is Campus, right? Or something.
Fun fact: the Man-Thing it came out before Swamp Thing.
Well, we know, Joel, when it comes to Marvel and DC, there's like 50 from DC that came out before Marvel that people swear Marvel did first, and vice versa.
There's tons of that. Actually, I think they came out the same year though, which is fucking eerie.
But to me, I like how different they feel, right?
They
if
are.
The Thing wasn't in the name, you couldn't really totally completely compare it. But
One
the
thing
fact
is
that the
definitely
names
talks more. Man-Thing is more like literally a creature and runs on fear or some shit like that. I know for a while now, Blade has been having like this baby one that he carries around with him on his shoulder. It's weird in the comic books.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm really excited for this. Trayvon, I want to pass it back to you in case you had any more thoughts on Werewolf by Night. But I am very interested in this because I allowed it for Moon Knight. I accepted it because you gave me one of my favorite end credit scenes in MCU history. So I let it go. But I will not allow another one of these dark Avenger characters to be introduced and you not find a way to properly connect it to these other dark fucking characters. I don't like you kicking that can down the road. There should be something in Werewolf by Night that either directs me to Blade, Moon Knight, somebody. Or I will be very angry. But did you want to add anything else for Werewolf by Night, Trayvon?
No, I don't think so. Now I'm just thinking about it. It sounds like it's gonna be fun for me. I love Teen Wolf, vampires, all that stuff. Werewolves. I love that stuff.
I love
it. And mix in, Trayvon, a murder mystery. And we forgot to tell you this, Trayvon, when we did the showcase Saturday. But another person you should be excited for because she'll be a massive part of the MCU going forward is Elsa.
Yeah. Laura Donnelly is playing Elsa Bloodstone.
Yes, yep.
And she better get her red hair eventually because right now it does not look red at all.
Yes, and she better get her confidence back. I don't know what the hell she saw that really scared the bejesus out of her. But Elsa hunts monsters for a living. So I'm like, what did you see in that scene that scared you that much? Or are you just new to this? If you're new to this, like relatively new, I can accept that.
When you say she's a hunter, like, is she...
She's a monster hunter. It's in her bloodline. Same thing. Family thing.
Yep.
Any...
Like Van Helsing, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So no abilities or anything, right?
No.
Well, she has abilities, but they're like... Let me tell you.
Well, you know what? I take that back, Trayvon. You want to know why I take that back? Because fucking Shang-Chi had no abilities, and now he does. So they might kind of amplify whatever her set abilities are.
Yeah, she has
to kind of make her stand out more.
Superhuman strength, speed, durability, endurance, regeneration, immunity to vampire bites, uses mystical items, and she's an expert markswoman.
This sounds fun.
Blade's gonna be mad as fuck. Bitch, I bet you six times.
She's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's more or less.
There you
I
go,
was
Trayvon.
wondering. I was wondering if that's where we're going. I was okay. All right.
And
all
wait,
right.
you played Ultimate Alliance 3 for Switch, right, Trayvon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You remember her? Then?
Is she?
Yeah, so as soon as they go to Dormammu's world, she's one of the first people you meet. That's there. Time. I get you, no problem. I get you. Yeah. But yeah, she is in that game, so it gives you an idea on a little bit about her. But I think her abilities in that game are more weapon based, so it kind of doesn't give you an idea on like super strength and shit like that. But Mike, I pass it to you as I'd say probably the biggest horror fan here out of all of us. Did this scratch your itch at all? Because you like things being drastically different, parody in the MCU. Do you feel as though this gave you a little bit of it?
For sure. This doesn't look like an MCU movie. Right. And that by itself I see as a win. You know, especially when you say Marvel Studios presents. And I really like that idea of them doing this every couple years, having just like a one-off event. That's all I've been asking for this entire time. Is you have different stories. If you're going to do this multiverse thing, go all the way. Tell completely different stories and different genres and different time periods. And that's what Werewolf by Night seems like it's going for. And whether this ties back into something else, I don't really care. But as long as this movie works as a standalone, I'm cool. If there's a post-credit scene to it, fine, whatever. It just feels like a lot of the times the movies themselves become the post-credit scenes, as opposed to leaving that tie-in stuff for the end.
Well, that's why I said I don't need Moon Knight in it, but I do need something at the end of it that lets me know where they're heading to with this. Because like the way Moon Knight ended, I definitely went, I could see where character-wise he's heading. I don't see where MCU-wise he's heading. And to me, I don't ever like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that Eternals ended with me knowing where the fuck the Black Knight is headed, but I don't know where the fuck Moon Knight's headed, really fucks up my head. I'm like, I'm sorry. Blade went to the Black Knight first?
Said nothing. It said nothing.
Well, I assume that'll be answered in Blade. I'm fine with that. You know, because I know Blade's coming, so it'll be answered there. I'm just saying.
In general, like
I'm
season
sorry,
2 official, or him showing up somewhere, like nothing. Yep. I hate when they do that. I don't like when they do that with characters.
Only reason I'll let that go for D23, as far as like not officially telling us season 2, is that it kind of seems like this was to be our bridge of what's coming in the next few months, right? Mm-hmm. I believe at San Diego Comic-Con, we'll probably get a massive overhaul of all the empty spaces we have, right? Because remember, Deadpool was mentioned.
Next one?
Next July, yeah. Next July.
Ooh, that long? Ooh.
I mean, they already announced so much stuff that I feel like Moon Knight's going to be a while.
That's what I'm saying. To me, I believe Moon Knight will happen. That's not a thought in my head like, oh, it won't happen.
I just believe Shang-Chi for that.
Again, I think Shang-Chi will be at San Diego Comic-Con, Trayvon.
God, that's so long.
I know, but just think of once you get there, you'll have had so much revealed that you'll be fed for a long while. Because they'll fill in all the gaps and add things that we didn't even know were going to come out in the next 5 years.
I got to get in Hall H.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's so many holes. I mean,
so many holes. Because think of how we felt when we did San Diego Comic-Con, right? And we were trying to fill the holes in ourselves to where it was just like, bro, there's so many things you could put here. We'll have those answers, and who knows? Kevin might open it up a little bit more.
You'd be surprised, but like we literally have 4 more Marvel products this year alone.
Yep.
You know, with like Werewolf by Night, Black Panther, Guardians presentation, Holiday special. We're still in the middle of She-Hulk.
Right.
I still haven't seen Daredevil yet in She-Hulk, man.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I mean.
It might be
coming.
This week. It might be this week.
Hopefully.
Because to me, I kind of feel like you featured Daredevil a little too heavily in that mid-season trailer for me to believe it's towards the end of the season rather than like the next 1 or 2 episodes. Because I'm like, if you hold that shit till episode 8 and 9, I'll be very angry. Like, don't feature it so heavily then. God damn it. But yeah, there's so many things, Trayvon, we don't even know about. And also, keep this in your head. You ready for this, Trayvon?
Mm-hmm.
You've not heard a Jessica Jones mention. You've not heard a Luke Cage mention. You've not heard an Iron Fist mention. You've not heard a Punisher mention. A Ghost Rider mention. There's just so many. That's why I'm saying you're gonna have to be patient, because once they get there, they will blow your head apart. You know what I'm saying? With filling in all those gaps that we know we have. So that's why I'm saying Moon Knight will be answered there. I just would have liked to have known that Moon Knight ended with me knowing that I'll get a taste of where he's heading in Blade or in this, and it didn't.
Yeah, where is he going to show up next?
Right, and that's what frustrates me. Because if you're telling me I have to wait to see him again till season 2, I don't like that. I don't like that, not one bit.
Well, you probably gonna have to get used to that, my friend.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. Out of this phase we're leaving, that has not been an issue. If you think about it, that's not really been an issue.
Yeah, I just think Oscar Isaac's a busy man. That's why they haven't announced when we're even getting season 2 yet.
That's fair, but again, I would have been fine if Blade went and met him, right? And I'm like, okay, he'll just have like a small cameo in Blade, right? Or if Blade met him, approaching him about starting a team, I know, okay, that hole will be filled down the line. But you essentially ended it to where it's like Moon Knight, where it felt like it didn't say it, but Moon Knight will be back in season 2. Well, when the fuck is season 2? Well, you gotta wait. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a me thing. I acknowledge it, but I don't like it. All right. So, Mike, did you want to add anything else about Werewolf by Night?
No. It looks great. I love that they're going for like that 30s, 40s type of feel to it, which I think is something that no superhero movie has really ever touched on at all. Yep. So I think this is really interesting territory, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. Just as a film fan, as a movie fan, which is nice because Marvel usually just exists in its own bubble.
Right.
Marvel it's no longer movies; it's a cinematic universe. Whereas this one, it's like, okay, it's cool to see them going this route because it feels like it's a movie again or a special, whatever they want to present it as.
Right.
It's
you know
something new
weirder,
for Marvel,
Mike?
and I can't wait for it. What's up?
You know what's even weirder? The director is Michael Giacchino.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me.
So it's like, bro, I didn't even know you could do that. That's like if Shaq showed up shooting threes. You're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What? You can do that this whole time?
He watched enough of them.
I mean, yeah, but Trayvon, this is drastic. This is like if Jon Favreau came out and said, "Hey, I scored The Mandalorian." I'm sorry, you did what?
When
did you learn how to do that?
Hopefully, Matt Reeves gave him some pointers when he was doing the Batman score.
I'm thinking so. Yeah, it feels like he did. It really does feel like he did. But no, I really appreciate Michael Giacchino because if everything we saw was truly his idea, bravo, man, bravo. You know what I'm saying? Like the horror aspect, the like you said, the 30s and the 40s aspect of it, making that shit black and white. Even though I will watch it in color if I'm given the option. I have no interest in black and white. I feel like I'm going to miss too many Easter eggs if I do black and white. Like, I couldn't even fucking see it. It was dark. I need color.
Zack Snyder prepared you for this.
And I didn't watch that shit in black and white.
It was gray.
Well, I'm telling you now, the screener me and Joel got was not in black and white or grayscale. It was color.
Yeah, mine was in color too.
So I did not watch it in that aspect. I respect people that do. That's definitely a talented eye, especially if you can watch it like that and catch everything. I can't. I need color. Even in color, I'd be missing shit. Joel be like, "You didn't see Iron Man in that? He was in that shit? Yeah, Joel, he was literally talking. I fucking missed it. I need color. Sorry." But Joel, you'll round this out here. Werewolf by Night, man. Jaws were on the ground in your house while the three of us were watching that. Walk me through.
No, I really liked it. I love werewolves in general, like my favorite type of monster or whatever. Again, it's one of those characters I'm really getting Werewolf by Night. Like, it's just, saying out loud is weird. It's just like, it's not a thing. It's just, we're really gonna get it. So like I'm like, what? I can't wait to see who else is in it because right now they pretty much officially showed us that it's not just gonna be Jack. It'll be Elsa. We're gonna get her, and of course, a real quick glimpse of the Man Thing. But who else? Who else? Who are these monster hunters? Or maybe they're people that we know, or who else might actually be in it? How long is it? Like, I mean, we only got a couple more weeks, so it's not much longer. But damn, like I'm very excited, and it's something different, very different. And what does a special presentation consist of? I look forward to finding out.
I want to ask you guys really quickly. I'm going to go around really quickly. Just yes or no. Well, first of all, I do want to add. I don't know when this started, but Hispanics being werewolves is something I need to continue for the rest of eternity.
Hispanics getting roles is something.
Well, yes, also yes, for sure. But Benicio del Toro, I told you that's my favorite fucking monster movie ever.
I love
the Wolfman.
The Wolfman. Yeah.
I loved everything about that movie. So I'm like to follow it up with now the Wolfman here being his man. I'm like, I think I kind of like that narrative. I can continue it. Like, keep going. Keep this up. Fuck, I think I forgot what I was gonna ask. Sorry, it probably wasn't important. Let's move on. Let's do Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I'm gonna send you a photo, Mike, that I saw. I don't know how legit it was, but it apparently is what everyone was saying he looked like from the trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, MODOK. Yeah.
What?
No, Mike will bring it up, Joel, and I'll talk about
that gold thing.
Yeah.
That's all. I was like, oh.
This movie really intrigues me, and what's sad about it is it does not intrigue me for anything outside of King, and that's only because I haven't seen anything. But it seems like the narrative everybody has every time something is shown for this movie is only Kang. So it seems like the trailers are heavily Kang, right? So for me, I'm just ready for fucking Kang at this point. But this is what people are saying the MODOK look like from San Diego Comic-Con.
That's some type of art, or
I think that's a shirt. I think it's a shirt.
Yeah, it looks like it's a shirt.
Yeah, it looks like it's a shirt. I'll say this: I have to see it. I have to see it, like the see it in the flow of the movie.
Kind of looks like a Yellow Jacket met MODOK.
Yes, and it looks like he veered more into Yellow Jacket than he did MODOK.
Well, I'm sorry.
That'll fit.
Baby MODOK right there. Like that
seems like his infancy stages. To me, I thought MODOK was probably one of the more easier looks you could have ever created. But we say it all the time, Joel. Marvel tends to look at easy and go, I'm going to make Moon Knight Mystic. We're like, why? But it worked, right? So it's like, that's why I say I don't want to say anything bad about this because I shitted on Moon Knight and ended up not hating it by the end of the season, right? So I'm like, I'm willing to just wait till I can see this in the flow of it. But just off looking at it, I don't really care for it all that. It looks like it's void of a chair. It looks like it's void of the actual human side of what MODOK is supposed to be to a degree.
He looks like a roach.
He does look like
a bug.
Yeah.
He looks like an actual wasp, just without the stinger.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he doesn't have the face. That's the problem for me.
But to me, it was that was supposed to be what set MODOK apart, essentially, from just being a full-on artificial life form to a degree. Is he still was human in there, right? He was still human in there. And then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, that's why. Remember when people were saying like, "Oh, this is Cross, right? This is Cross turned into MODOK." Where the fuck do you see Cross here? Like, how am I supposed to think that's Cross?
What did we leave him?
We left him with him disappearing into the
Quantum realm.
Quantum realm. Yeah.
Huh? Maybe that's what happened to him.
I
That's
guess.
the thing. We don't know what happened to him, and if he comes back all weird and deformed like this, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Is this not bothering anyone else? Is this just me and my craziness?
I honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about MODOK in this movie. I care about Kane. I just want to see. I'm tired of hearing about this damn line. He says, "Did I kill you already?" I want to hear that shit. Okay, Give me the goddamn clip, trailer, whatever the hell y'all saw. Okay, sick of it. Sick of hearing
I'm
about it.
with you. I'm hearing we might even get the trailer next month.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the same trailer we've heard about for 2 months. Lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, at least I get to see it. Shit. Like, even if it is word for word the same shit, at least I get to put visuals to it, right? Rather than people just telling me and I have to imagine the shit. I can actually see it. I'm fine. I don't care.
Going forward, we're gonna need those people that can like draw what their hit.
Yes, and then animate it. So
And
it's
then
like,
animate
all right,
it.
yeah, okay, I
Now
got the
I
gist.
know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I get the gist. But no, so we've heard different things from different people about what was shown at D23. Some people were saying that Kang was seeking Cassie's help.
I just want to
yes,
interject
that's
right
what-
quick and say I don't know how you pull this off in live action, so I understand why they changed it.
Sure.
I just wish they went with something better. That's all I gotta say about
See,
MODOK.
But I don't know
can't
what would be better.
I can't even say that,
Sure.
Mike, because I swear, since 2008, I've seen Marvel do some really dope shit with characters I never thought they could necessarily pull off.
Like this though? Like
Well,
I'm trying to think.
Again, here's the thing, Trayvon. Here's the thing. If you're telling me that an artist, right, got in the room and said, hey, I can't do this, so that's what I did. That, to me, is lazy. Now, if you're saying it was a decision that you were going that drastically different, I can respect that. I don't have to like it, but I can respect it. But if you're telling me, oh, this is too hard, I can't do it, that I don't respect. Not in 2022.
I feel like
In 2010, maybe. 2022, no, I can't accept that.
I wonder if it'll be the usual guy, Andy Park, that does it. Because usually he does like multiple designs
Right,
and they choose which one they want to go.
And they
But
usually
either
never
way-
choose his best.
I'm about to say,
By the way.
either way, it's very much one of those things where like they chose it then. But maybe because they're making it Darren Cross, they needed to make it a blend of the two. So okay, so maybe that's a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and again, if
You
it's
pull
a
that mask
decision,
out, there's your face. Now the hair might not get the hair.
no, not the hair. No, I bet you know what, Joel? I'll even split the difference with you. Ready? I don't give a fuck about the look. I just need the chair. You give
That
me
is
the
a
chair.
That's not a chair.
Wait, bring it back up, Mike, because maybe I missed it.
He
Maybe
looks
I
like he's
completely
sitting on something, isn't he?
I thought he was just. Yeah, I thought he was just floating.
Well, how's
That's
it
what I thought I
floating? He floats on a floating chair.
Technology.
But the
No.
chair, he's sitting on it.
He's
I didn't
levitating
see a
like
chair,
Dua
though.
Lipa.
Yes, that's exactly how he's doing it.
That song
I
was
wasn't sure
phenomenal,
what
by
I
the
saw.
way.
Look at his legs.
Nah, his legs just look like he's. If I'll
That's
say
how
this,
he
Joel.
looks.
If there's a chair,
He's floating like
it's the
Frieza.
smallest fucking chair I've ever seen in my life. If there's a chair.
That's what it reminds me of. Float like Frieza, man. Like,
He
I
do
don't
float
know.
a little bit like Frieza. But yeah, so if there's a
But look-
chair,
Look at
my
the legs.
apologies.
If it was straight down, if it was normal, wouldn't it go straight down?
Unless he's supposed to look like a fucking infant, then no, isn't that
That's
how
how
all
he
infants
looks.
look?
Like when you see MODOK, he looks like he's sitting on a chair, right? It does not look like he's sitting on a chair.
I can
Yes,
neither
I'm just
confirm
saying
nor
I
deny.
can't
His,
see
it.
his
chair
knees
is
are
what I'm saying.
bent. His knees
Yeah.
are a little bent. Maybe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
his knees are bent. That's what
I don't see a chair, but
That's
his
all
knees
I'm
are
saying.
bent,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he
That's
might
all
still
I'm
be
saying.
sitting in a chair.
Yeah, so what we're saying, Joel, is we're splitting the difference. You're right, it looks like the motherfucker's sitting. It just doesn't look like he's sitting in anything. That's all we're saying. Like, he looks like he's sitting down. I can't argue that. The fuck is he sitting in then? It's a very small chair.
But if you look
That's
at
get
what
this
I'm
great
the
saying.
MODOK, sometimes it's not a chair. It's just like he's on a box.
Yeah, I need that chair. To me, that's iconic.
But look at pictures of MODOK. It's not always a chair.
I
It's
am
just-
not disagreeing
sometimes
with
it's just
you.
his head.
I am not disagreeing with you. I just like the chair. That's an aesthetic that I love. That I was hoping that if we got MODOK, we could get. But the bigger thing for me is that this motherfucker survives the quantum realm and fucking rebuilds AIM. That's what I want. I fucking want the real AIM. I don't know what the fuck Iron Man 3 was. I want the real AIM.
If he comes back to normal and recreates AIM, that'd be interesting.
Because we don't have these secret organizations. I thought that was very weird that they got rid of S.H.I.E.L.D. so
They
early.
wasted AIM is what they did.
I'm like, you're done with S.H.I.E.L.D. already? That's weird. That's a lot, but fuck it. Whatever. What were you about to say, Trayvon?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, what were you saying? Is there something about this?
No, that's not.
Oh, okay. All right. So different
Shield
things
still
have been-
lives if you go off the TV show.
The Emmy winners are like, it's
Oh, they're
cool.
getting you. I got
Some of the
you.
Emmy winners are cool.
We'll go over some of them before we get off air. But what were you saying, Mike? If we go by what?
If we go by Agents of Shield, they still around. They never
I keep
stop.
telling you, Feige does not acknowledge that, Mike. He
Listen.
does not acknowledge that exists.
You say that, but when Daisy Johnson shows up one day, you're gonna be like, should have listened to Mike.
Well, I'm only going off of what Kevin has said out of his
That'd
own
be
mouth that he does not acknowledge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was able to be as wild as it was, because it's not connecting directly to the MCU.
You cannot tell me that he acknowledges freaking Inhumans and just says, I will never reference Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I won't say that. I will just say while Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on air,
He also blew
Feige
his
made
head
it
up.
his job to tell us what you see here, you will not see over here. That's kind of, it's whatever, right? Even Charlie Cox was saying to a degree, coming over here to the MCU, you're going to see a shift. It's not a complete overhaul reboot, but it is a shift from
He
what
said
that
this
was
is
to what
season
this
one.
is.
He said it's
Soft
season
reboot.
1, not 4.
All it is.
Right,
All
right,
it is.
exactly.
yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm
So-
saying. If you see her come over, it won't be how you remember her from there. It'll be different but
Story's
the same.
different.
Right.
I
Different
mean,
but the same.
Charlie Cox also said that Daredevil is basically like a comic book run where we're picking up after season 3, after the blip, after the snap, and all this other stuff happening.
If
Yeah, of
they
course.
reference something from the old Netflix show, then I will.
They won't. They won't.
The thing is, so much time has passed, they don't even have to.
Right.
Like we're meeting Matt almost a decade after season 3 when you think about it timeline wise.
Mhm.
So I think that works out where he can say, hey, it's not a full-on reboot, but the show is called Daredevil Born Again, so it's season 1 of
Right.
Born Again.
Right. Well, I will say this: Daredevil will be the biggest nod to what you can expect from whatever you think we may get from Agents of Shield, because the question will become how much of what we know Daredevil from Netflix will we see sprinkle into the MCU? Like, will Foggy be back? Will Karen be back?
Cast, yeah.
Right. If the whole cast comes over, then you can essentially go, it's new, but not really, right? It's narratively new, but not completely new. And that's what you could do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But the problem with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is it's ingratiated itself in so many different stories Marvel hasn't even approached yet that you go, there's no way narratively he's bringing that shit over. But he may bring some familiar faces over. They just won't be the same as how you remembered them. They're completely new. Because remember, he hasn't even said the word outside of a multiverse Inhumans in the main 616. So it's like, if she comes over and it's the same, she's fucking Inhuman. We don't even know what Inhumans are outside of what they were on another universe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he may acknowledge it. It just won't be how
But
we
shit,
remember them.
I believe she was another example of them making her Inhuman only because they wanted to push Inhumans.
Right. Right.
You know,
Only for
Not
the
because-
show to kill people's interest in Inhumans.
That's why. It's because they wanted, like, we need our own mutant so we can stop. That's why they stopped selling X-Men books and they were trying to push it. They pushed hard for it.
That was a dark time to be an
It was a
X-Men
dark
fan.
time. It was a dark time.
That's too
She was another casualty of the Inhuman rise. push.
But yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Apparently, some people are saying it looks like Kang is seeking the 616 Scott Lang. Some people are saying Kang was looking for Cassie to help him in whatever he's trying to do. There's been different theories on it, which is why not seeing it for ourselves really is a kick in the balls. Because you're like, well, what did you see that this person didn't see, and y'all were both there? Like, why am I getting conflicting stories here? But I am very interested in what this movie is going to be. And Mike, as I pass it to you first, I was telling Joel, when it comes to me, Feige's gonna have to be pretty careful because we're getting Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Loki season 2, and then in 2 fucking Avenger movies. And you're telling me there's going to be different Kangs all throughout. That's a lot for me. Like, part of me is like, just pick a fucking Kang and you stick with the motherfucker and let that guy ride it out. So I have 2 questions for you. Your
Yes.
thoughts on what we've heard so far from this D23 panel, and do you feel as though there might come a time where you get a Kang fatigue, or are you excited to see the different looks Jonathan Majors is going to pull off trying to be Kang variants?
Well, I'll start with your first question because it's the simplest to answer. Nothing that happened at D23 regarding Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania matters to me because it felt like it's the same information we got from San Diego Comic-Con. So it sounds interesting. I'll just leave it there. But I feel like we talked about this already on multiple streams.
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I guess I'll focus on Jonathan Majors. He's a terrific actor. I can't wait to see him play multiple versions of the same character. I think that's a really cool idea. But I've said multiple times, I don't like how Marvel's handling the multiverse. I don't like how they're handling variants. So I can't say I'm that excited to see the same character 4 times.
Right.
Being, again, like, I'm not a Marvel guy. I don't know how things work in the Marvel universe that well. But as a DC guy, when you say multiverse, I think Batman Gotham by Gaslight, as opposed to the mainline universe. I'm thinking of like something so drastically different when you tell me multiverse and different Earths. So for you to just say, he's evil here, and but he's good on this in this version, it's like, okay, and that's not enough variety for me. Get weird with it.
Right.
So I want to see, and I know Jonathan Majors can do it. I want to see how far they push the idea of him playing 4 different versions of Kang. Because if all of them are drastically different, that's cool, but also what's the through line of that? If this is the multiverse saga, and we're just fighting 4 different versions of the same dude, that's going to get a little tiring. So I want to see, how do you conclude the multiverse saga if you're not going to have a consistent threat all the way through, besides it being the same actor, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, for me, the first thing I thought when they were saying how much Kang we were going to get is I'd be way more interested in the idea of seeing here and there, right? Like, if we're going to see him 4 times, right? Let's say we're going to see him 4 times. I would like you to split the difference and maybe have someone else be that version of Kang if you're truly exploring the multiverse. Because if he looks the same all the way throughout, like you said, for me personally, it does get a little fatigued by the time I get to the actual Kang. That's the Kang, right? Like the dominant Kang. Like, well, shit, I didn't see He Who Remains, He Who Ain't Here, He Who Might Be Here Later, and now Kang. Like, what the fuck? That's just too much for me. So, if you're going to explore the multiverse, I would like to see someone else be a face of Kang. And it's like, oh, shit, who is it? Okay. This is switching it up. This is having fun with the multiverse. But if it's just Jonathan Majors, I tell you what, if by the time we get to Kang Dynasty, I'm not fatigued, Jonathan Majors should have had at least 4 Oscars by then. Because if he can essentially be the same person just in a different variation and it be appealing, feel it right now.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays, though, because Ant-Man and the Wasp is such a goofy franchise compared to the rest of the MCU. How do you have him be the main villain there and fit tonally, unless you drastically change the tone of Ant-Man 3?
Or unless you're saying this variant of Kang fits more with the narrative of this Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and then the next one we get will fit more to wherever Loki is, and then the next one we get will fit more so to what Kang Dynasty is, and then that Kang will be Kang Supreme, essentially, that gets us to...
What are we getting first, Quantumania or Loki?
Quantumania is in February.
Okay, right. So, sorry, just a second, Trayvon. I just want to finish this one point. Mm-hmm. You run the risk of, if you keep Ant-Man and the Wasp silly, I'll just put it that way. If you keep it silly and you make him the villain of a silly movie and he's matching that tone, you run the risk of kind of undermining the other versions of Kang that come after if you play it that way.
But see,
you know
that's how I kind of think you won't, because you're telling people that each of these Kangs are drastically different than the other.
But if the trailers don't signify that, nobody's going to take them serious.
I get you.
Is all I'm
I
saying.
get you. Yeah, that's why this first trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is important. Because nobody, from what we heard at San Diego Comic-Con, made Kang seem like he was comical. He seemed very eerie. But it goes to what me and Joel said when they first announced this movie, it was really fucking weird that you're saying Kang is the villain for something like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because Joel kept saying, you're not telling me by the end of this movie Ant-Man and the Wasp defeat Kang. If you do, then we got problems.
That's why it's such a weird spot, right? Because you
yes.
Imagine you take the first Ant-Man movie, right? And the villain is Yellow Jacket.
Right.
Yellow Jacket fits that movie. But if you tell me he's the villain of Avengers 2, it makes no sense. I don't take him seriously as a threat.
Right.
That's what I mean with Kang, where it's like you introduce him here. That's going to be weird for the audience to try to make the leap of he's an Avengers level threat that's going to take the entire saga to defeat.
I will say one thing I think you're forgetting, Mike, is that Cross and Ghost were not comical, even though they lived within a comical space. Like, Cross was not giving you whips that was like, oh my god, you're just trying to be that funny villain. Like, no, neither was Ghost. But everything else around them was comical, right? So I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to elevate itself to being a little bit more serious. But Scott Lang is there, Paul Rudd's there for comedy. He's not there for anything else but to be the sexiest man alive and funny, right? So it's like that, you just know you're going to get
and that. Funny? What a
comedy. Right? And he doesn't age, right? And he doesn't age.
And he doesn't age.
The bane of my existence.
So I say that to say, Mike, as I pass to you, Trayvon, because you were saying something, I apologize. But I say that to say there is a way where Kang can live in this serious, but everything else around him is supposed to be more catered to comedy. But I won't lie. I will say, and I've said this since the beginning, the fact that you won't just make MODOK the main villain, because I did, Joel. The fact that you won't just make MODOK the main villain and have Kang living kind of within that space was infuriating to me, because I'm like, you know how many jokes we can get off between how MODOK looks, right? Like, that could just be the joke of itself in that whole movie. So I thought you kind of missed it with making MODOK kind of a henchman of Kang, rather than MODOK being the big bad and we finding out that Kang was behind it. And then that leads us into Loki. I thought that was a mistake for them. But Trayvon, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I forget.
Damn,
okay.
Did you?
So okay.
The way you said that.
I had to think about it. So yeah. So Ant-Man. Okay, yeah. Ant-Man is always funny, but from that description we've gotten multiple times now about this, it seems to me that King is more like, you know, Scott is joking and happy and all that about his book or whatever, and King is just like, that's right. What the fuck? Who you think you are? Who are you? And I think it'll humble him. I think it'll take that comedy out of his mouth for a minute. And I think that'll be the difference. And honestly, he who must not be what was his name?
He who remains.
Whatever.
You're about to make him Voldemort.
I don't know what I was about to say, but yeah. So, but the way he acted in Loki was comical to me. That was comical. Like so. You know. So really? I just feel like and he was joking around, making kind of jokes and stuff. So I was like, that's two different ones sound like to me so far. So I just.
But that's not.
And honestly, I can't.
Right. Yes, that is something important to remember, Trayvon. Like Joel just said, who you're looking at right now was not Kang,
and they made sure not to reference him as Kang.
I'm just okay. Look, I hear y'all. Mm-hmm. I am considering all of these guys Kang until that's how I'm. Looking at it.
You're not wrong.
And so a lot of people are looking at it that way.
Yeah, you're not wrong, because he even said it. He said, I've had multiple names, and one of them was a Conqueror. So yes, you're not wrong, but what they're trying to establish
that's not going to work, though.
There is... allow yourself to be open to it. Because what they're trying to say is that these are all versions of one person, and that one person is Kang, right? They're just versions of Kang. So each of them are supposed to have different personalities, different ideologies, all kinds of different things, even look different. But when you get to Kang, they're all just Kang. You know what I'm saying? I know that might have made things way more complicated than it needed to be, but they're all Kang, and this just happened to be a version of them that will not look or act anything like the actual Kang once we get to him. So that's why I'm saying he was able to be comical, because he's not Kang.
Right, this is not Kang the Conqueror. He who remains. He's very different than. That's why he said when you meet my. He's scared of himself.
Right.
He says it.
He's like,
So
wait
wait
till you
till
meet
you
my
meet-
variants.
Right. They're different than him. That's the point. They're all different. That's what I'm trying to think is like when we get to Kang Dynasties, we're gonna see all different versions of Kang. He's gonna stretch his acting chops because I think they're all gonna act and look differently, even though it's the same actor. And we've already shown that he can play funny.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Silly. And now when he's the Conqueror, not silly, more or less. Well, we're assuming at least the one that's in the Ant-Man one seems to be more serious, right?
Yep.
And we don't know which versions of Kang we're going to get going forward. We just know that one of them is Kang the Conqueror, and we've already seen He Who Remains, who's dead. So again, we don't know which other ones are going to show up. But I look forward to seeing him stretch his acting chops. I do believe that Ant-Man will be a little bit more serious than the other ones, but I also believe it's Ant-Man. It can't be too serious. You
Well,
got to play with it.
that's why I'm more interested in
Did
them
I
doing
kill you
something.
yet? So
Well, I'm just
Conquer.
interested in Ant-Man being something that it's never been, right?
Don't
So where
feel in the background.
you heighten the stakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do force Ant-Man to get more serious. Because to me, if you allow him to forever live in that joke, like think about the progression of Iron Man, right? Never took anything serious in Iron Man 1. He was the asshole. He was blah, blah, blah. When you get to Iron Man 2 and he's met with the idea of death, right? He starts to take it more seriously. So by the time you get to Iron Man 3, he's developing himself into still being that sarcastic asshole, but he views life differently. He views it to be more precious, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying I want Scott to make that progression, not where you change him, but he just realizes things aren't as fun and easygoing as they have been. There's real stakes here, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
With his
now
daughter
your
out-
daughter's involved.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
With her out there, she might get hurt or something like
And
that.
not only, not
that'll
to
put
mention,
him,
Trayvon,
you know.
we're assuming him and Hope are even closer than before, right?
Right.
Maybe even heading towards engagement, whatever the case may be. So that's two people that are fighting alongside you. That could, any minute, Kang could, boom, they're gone, right? So it's like, I want to see that. I want to see how this becomes even Hank as a mentor, right? So I want to see that seriousness of, I have real stakes here. These are people I love.
I feel like Hank out of here.
At this point, Trayvon, I wouldn't even give a shit. I mean, you giving me
No,
Hank
for
at 90
Scott,
years
for
old
that-
is
for
just
that-
like,
that has to
I
stop.
get you. You mean the levity?
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, but I mean, Mike wasn't wrong. We pretty much have gone over what we've said since July.
I don't think they win this fight in this first movie. I'm not saying anyone's gonna die or anything, but whatever happens at the end, I think it's
gonna humble them.
Right.
Gonna humble
them, and they might have to regroup.
I tell you what's going to happen. It's going to end, and assuming lives, because a lot of people are theorizing that he doesn't, but assuming he lives, you
He's
know,
not gonna go back to Hank. So it's like that's
Cryptic
weird. That's the wrong Ant-Man that died.
yeah. But we all know that the post-credit scene is going to probably be Scott calling the only Avenger he has on speed dial, and that's Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm like, who is he talking about? Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
you're right.
And then it's going to be like, we got to put a team together, and then that's when the Avengers start
Start to
reforming.
slowly form, right? And then look, Trayvon, you know what that means, right?
What?
That means you're gonna get a Shang-Chi sequel that ends in them officially naming him an Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I see him again one day.
Wongers is
Why
going
do
to
you
make
keep
sure
saying
he's
that. Like, I don't. Why do you keep thinking that? Of course you will. I'm just more interested in what that. I hope that's a tournament movie. I really do. All right, let's move on. Let's go to. I want to try to avoid things that we have too much. Well, not too much information. It's not drastically different than what we got at San Diego. All right, so let's go to
Good luck.
Daredevil Born Again. Let's go to throw some double D's on that. Daredevil Born Again. Man, it's so crazy because I think Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio have a superpower that only a few people in Marvel have, right? Just seeing them walk on stage, like the photos of them just standing there. Like, obviously we were seeing photos, so we couldn't hear anything. To me, that was iconic. That was all I needed. I don't really need anything else. The new logo and just seeing them two together again was just like, well, you got me.
it's
I'm sold.
yeah, I'm excited about it, but I feel like the pressure's on for
What do you mean?
the comparison of the other show will be very,
Show.
very potent.
Well, here's the thing.
It better.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
If it's like Moon Knight,
Here's what the fans should wrap their heads
I'm
around.
just saying.
Here's what the fans should wrap their heads around, right? If you go into this show trying to compare it to Netflix, right? You're already going to lose. It's not going to be that, right? But if you want to have that ideology going into Daredevil, would you like to know a fun fact, Trayvon?
What's that?
Your options could have been he recasted both of them. So then you never had to worry about them being better than Netflix. They're completely different. So at some point, you guys have to just be happy that they're back, regardless of what medium they live in.
Even if it was recasted, it's still called Daredevil. It will still be compared to the Netflix show.
But to me, that's idiotic. Oh, look at the Daredevil love. Where did you come from?
Where did he come from?
Like, where did you airdrop from, Didge? Where did you airdrop from?
It's like he sensed it.
It is. He literally came in as we started talking Daredevil. But I will say, Trayvon, I think it's a mistake to do that. If you do that, you're only setting yourself up to fail. Because
I'm not saying it might not be me, but I feel like it'd be everybody else.
No, I know you definitely brought that up because you felt that way. It's okay.
There's gonna be haters. There's always gonna be haters.
I'm just saying, I don't think that's like saying like, oh, whoever the next Wolverine is, you better be better than Hugh Jackman. Why would you set
that will happen?
Set the bar that
I'm
high?
Sorry, that will happen. He will get compared. Whoever it is,
Hugh Jackman,
will get compared.
Time out. We had Hugh Jackman for 20 fucking years. This guy will have joined the job day one, and we're already like, well, you got to be him. Don't do that. Like, he won't be.
Listen,
like,
I'm just saying what's going to happen out here. It's realistic out here.
No, you're right. It's going to be compared.
That's just what's
it
going to happen.
It won't be fair to him, but yes, he will be compared. And just at some point, people are just going to have to and then they won't. Just a lot of people won't let go. And that guy's going to get the shit.
Yeah.
But to me, I kind of feel like
be stupid and then compare the opposite way. Like, Jackman was never this good.
I kind of feel like
fight.
I kind of feel like when you go into that, it just sets you up to fail, right? Like, it's like if you're used to your mother making the best oatmeal cookies, right? And then you go, nobody can make better oatmeal cookies than my mother. You know what that's setting you up for? Your taste buds to never accept anybody else's fucking oatmeal cookies.
Just in time.
You really want to jump in here during this? During this? Are you serious? Wow.
Secret Daredevil fan here. Look, he has double D's in his name.
Yes, double D for double D. Yes, there you go.
Like for me, I get like you say, you don't compare whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But you have the same Kingpin, you have the same Daredevil in a show called Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Born Again doesn't matter; it's still called Daredevil. Okay. It's going to get compared to the other show.
Trayvon, I'm saying
it will.
If you,
I will do it.
I'll say this. I'll say this, Trayvon. I'll say this. If you have Young Justice, right, on HBO Max, and you're allowed to get more adult, there's maybe some cursing, there's like actual stabbings and shit like that, and then you put it on Cartoon Network. Guess what? It can't be the same fucking thing. It's going to be different. It's the same thing, but different.
You know what? I got something for that. Look, the show is called Titans. I immediately compare it to Teen Titans. I do. It's just like this. Where's Ezra? That's not Gentos. Where is the stuff that I'm used to? Where is Raven saying these things?
Hold on.
These aren't the teams.
You're going to compare it though. You're going to compare it.
No, what you're saying. Hold on. What you're saying is different. You're saying there's elements.
Don't use the characters. Not gonna do it.
No. You're saying there's elements of the characters.
I came into chaos.
You're saying that there's elements of the characters you want to see utilized.
Yes.
But your argument originally, your argument originally was they're going to compare it to the Netflix show. There's nothing about the characters that will change. You guys want it to be as bloody and as just sick.
Yeah.
That's not a characteristic of a character, Trayvon.
It is to me at this point. For that character, it is. Sorry.
Oh my God, Trayvon.
If he ain't scrapping, I don't know.
If he ain't scrapping, it ain't happening.
We never said he wasn't scrapping. We just said he's not bloody.
Yeah, so
he better not be falling waking up with blood everywhere.
Walks down.
Like,
we know that's not the character. So.
We know what Trayvon once did, but I'm trying to explain to Trayvon that Kingpin won't change, Matt Murdock won't change.
Kingpin
the only
did
thing
he can't indestructible. I'm just saying. But
Trayvon,
that was a
time out. But here's the thing:
he
he should have always been indestructible.
Yeah,
Trayvon.
That was a good change.
That was a fuck up on Netflix.
He needed that.
But here's what I'm trying to explain, and then I'm gonna pass it to Joel for him to give us his thoughts on that Daredevil panel. Here's what I'm trying to explain to you, Trayvon. The only thing that you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The only thing that changes, right? The only thing that changes. Nothing about Kingpin. The only thing that changes is you probably won't get a scene in Disney Plus where he's bashing a guy's head in a car door. That's it. But that's not Kingpin's character. If you take that out, that doesn't make me go, well, you're not Kingpin.
You might not get the scene at the end of season 3 where he's punching the bloody shit out of him.
Yes. But that doesn't. But what I'm saying is, Trayvon, that doesn't make him less of Kingpin. It's still Kingpin. You're just toning down the violence, but that doesn't strip a character. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make it.
Listen, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but them reviews are gonna be different that day.
And I'm saying I need people like you to understand it's not a change. And maybe if you understand that, you can explain it to someone who doesn't, and then we won't get that circus of, well, it's not the Netflix show. Well, guess what? Disney Plus has the Netflix show.
You know when people are gonna rewatch that show right before this show come out?
And guess what? That's their problem. That's their problem. That's their problem.
It's literally that article that Joel shared earlier. It's that expectations are going to ruin fandom.
Yes. And it's so crazy because it's expectations the fans create. Yep. And then when they don't get it, they're like, I didn't get it. No one told you were getting it. Like, who told you that? Well, I thought it. Well, don't think. You know what I'm saying? Don't think anymore. Don't do
They better take it out of the algorithm. If you search Daredevil, that other show better not come up. I'm just saying.
It will, Trayvon. It's on Disney Plus. Like, what are we talking about? It's on Disney Plus. Of course it'll come up.
That's why I feel like it's not going to be a full-on reboot because it is on Disney Plus.
It is.
Right.
And it'd be really weird branding to be like, hey, we brought the show back with the same guy.
They think the different name. They think the subtitle name changes something. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to explain to you, Trayvon. The only thing that will change is you're going to dial the murder down some. That's it. So he just left completely.
Trayvon was so frustrated with it. He was like,
He said, I'm fucking out of here.
I'm done
what
with
were you saying, Joel?
I said they're pulling a Ghost Rider Vengeance. Same actor.
I'm back.
But it's a reboot.
Yes, but it's a reboot. Yes, exactly, Joel. Exactly. But no, go ahead, Joel. So what did you hear from people that were there that were talking about?
No, I mean, they showed
Daredevil.
what happened. I mean, it wasn't anything. It's just like, because they came out for Echo. And when Echo, the cast went away, D'Onofrio stayed. He's like, I thought we were going to talk about my show. And then you hear Charlie in the background saying, "What, your show? You mean my show?" And he walks. And then they bring up the new logo for that's all they did. You know, they didn't really tell you anything. They didn't even start filming it. They said they're currently writing it. Right. But to me, Daredevil Born Again is really a play on words, just like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
essentially, he's being born to what he should have been.
He's born again, right? Reborn in the MCU. That's just like Spider-Man. He's come home. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is so wild. Sony agreed on that name because it was a Kevin Feige name that Sony was just like, yeah, that works. Not really knowing it, right? Because they're like, oh, Homecoming, the dance. I get it. He's in high school. Meanwhile, Kevin was sitting there like, no, I mean, he's one step closer to coming home.
That's why he had to just like, oh, that's just the theme. It's far from home. It's no way home. You don't think about it too hard.
Don't think about it too hard. But I put home in there so you guys knew.
This is home. Don't you ever try to take it away.
He's coming here. Yeah, he's coming back here. Yeah, he's coming back here. You guys got Venom. We got
exactly. And so that to me, Daredevil's the same thing.
We got to make sure the fans know this was different.
Yeah. Hey, born again. Born again, but the right way.
Yeah. Let's do this right this time.
Just saying, guys. You know.
No, it's a great show. I do love the Netflix series a lot.
That's what I was about to say. It was fine. It was fine. It was good the way it was done.
It was great. I obviously had some nitpicks, but I wasn't. It's my favorite of the Netflix shows. So,
I will say my biggest issue with Daredevil was that it approached itself quite like Nolan's universe, to where him being indestructible would have never happened because they approached it as realistic, right? So it's like, yeah, you can have him that he's just stronger than most people, but he's not massively stronger than most people. And I'm like, well, no, that's the really interesting part of Kingpin, is the fantastical element of he doesn't have any superpowers, but that motherfucker is strong like the Hulk, right? So I'm like, I want to see that. This motherfucker can smash a table with his bare hands. I want to see more shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, that's why when me and Joel were laughing doing the MCR for Hawkeye, where people were just like, I don't know what the fuck this was. Shoot him with an arrow, it does nothing. I'm like, oh, my poor sweethearts. That's actually Kingpin. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm used to the Kingpin that would choke
Yes.
Spider-Man out. Like,
Yes, exactly.
He would hug he put him in a bear hug. He can't move. I'm like, what?
Right. So just talking to people that thought,
but has
the
no
Netflix
powers.
Kingpin. Right.
Very weird. Kingpin
Right.
is
But that was frustrating, talking to people who only know Kingpin from Netflix. And it's like, oh no, that was
He's the first villain in the Spider-Man game. You play the game, he's in it.
Well, that's where the
it?
confusion comes from, though. Like Trayvon said, when it's Vincent D'Onofrio
Yeah.
and he didn't have super strength through 3 seasons.
That's right. So you don't recommend those shows unless you're like, this is a reference. Do not pay attention to anything aside from the fact that the actors acted in it.
No, you know what we could do? You know what we could do? You know what we could do, Mike? I know what we could do that does not confuse anybody and it helps everybody. We can say that the show Daredevil, right, for Netflix was a way to erase Ben Affleck's Daredevil, right? So that when you go back through history, you go, there was never a movie, only 2 sets of shows. It was just a way to block that out. So now you don't ever have to talk about that movie, just what Netflix did, and now what Marvel, now what the MCU is doing. That's it.
That was just a really weird era for the MCU when you think about it. Because like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s slogan was, it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
That was the tagline for the show.
They wanted you to believe.
Yes.
So
But but like even in the final season, they're referencing the quantum realm and they're even using Pym particles.
But at that point, they were definitely doing their own thing.
Right,
but again, those shows work the same way that Amy does over at Sony. You ever hear Amy talk? Where Amy's like, yes, it's all connected to the MCU, Venom and Spider-Man and this character. And then you hear Kevin and he's like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
But does a casual even hear Kevin Feige speak, though? Because he can say that. But if the show says it's connected, and then they start throwing phrases around like Pym particles and quantum realms, and then you have the Daredevil show, which is on Disney Plus, which talks about the battle in New York and references the Avengers, and then you have these actors show back up in the MCU, they're gonna think it's connected.
Yeah, and Kevin's saying, hey, that's why we're bringing them over during our multiverse saga, so we could say it's a different universe, but the same.
Oh, so it's not a multiverse saga; it's a crisis. I see what's happening.
Oh yeah, that's
what Secret Wars is going to be. It's a fucking crisis.
If that's the case, you know,
without consolidation.
Hurry up and give me Jessica Jones then, since you renamed her show, aka Jessica Jones. Like, let's
yeah,
come on.
Hurry
up.
Yeah, a lot of us believe that'll happen. Yeah, a lot of us believe that'll happen.
Yeah, they could call Alias. I'll be fine.
Yeah, but Trayvon, you got to remember, she's on her way. That's the whole purpose Matt has in Echo. It's to find her. So she's on her way. You don't have to wait all that much longer.
Question is what happened and why.
Right, exactly. And you know how you can go with that narrative? Because it's a multiverse, right? They're different, but not really. That's what you tell people, right? Mm-hmm. So that if you just get that through your head, move on with life. They're different, but not really.
It'll be clear as we get closer. But as of right now, Daredevil's 2 years away. So let's not.
I mean, shit. We were just about to see DC try their hand at it, bringing in Michael Keaton. It's the same, but different. And it's like, well, no, this is completely different. Like, he's older than the Batman we last saw. It's like, yeah, but it's the same, but different. Just move on.
DC's still trying to figure out what's going
on. But Mike, no. This Born Again, seeing that logo, is this really starting to drive your hype train for Daredevil?
All I care about is Daredevil, so yeah.
Oh, well, then there we go. Yeah.
You
know what? You know what, Mike? You're starting to become Trayvon to a degree. I'm starting to sense some similarities here. There's not a massive difference between Daredevil and Nightwing. I fucking see what you're doing here, Mike.
There's not at all.
I see what you're doing here. I see it. I get it. Okay, I see you.
Look, Daredevil, Nightwing, Spider-Man, they're all the same. I love them all.
Mike's like, and then that's where it ends. That's it. Don't ask me about anybody else. That's my circle.
And the extended Bat family's cool too.
He's like, yeah, whenever they pop in, it's fine, whatever.
Whenever they show up, I'm like, hey, Nightwing sidekicks are here.
Nightwing's kids, what up though? I will pass it to you, Didge, just so we can get you to say all the nice words so Joel can end this out on Daredevil. Go ahead, Didge. How excited are you to see these Double D's return?
Actually, I'm interested in seeing the series. I actually did like the Daredevil series. I just don't care about the character.
I don't even understand how that matches.
Because the series
He
itself,
likes the brutalness of it.
yeah, the series itself was great. It's just the character. I just like. It's not one of those things where I'm like, oh, I gotta go see a Daredevil. I think you guys overestimate my dislike for Daredevil.
No, we just don't understand how you can say you like the show, but you don't like the character. That just is weird.
Time out. No. I'll say this, Mike. You know what Didge is doing? And I stopped going to McDonald's with my aunt. My aunt goes to McDonald's, right? She'll order a double cheeseburger and ask them to remove the cheese. And I'm like, it's a fucking hamburger. Like, you either want the cheese or you don't, right? So I'm like, that's essentially what you're saying. You're like, can I have the double cheeseburger of Daredevil, but hold the Daredevil?
It's one of those things where it's all Daredevil. It's one of those things where it's like, if this show didn't exist, I wouldn't be hurt. I wouldn't care. If the Netflix show didn't exist, I wouldn't have been hurt. I wouldn't have cared. But when I watched it, it was one of those things where it's like, all right, this is pretty good.
So all you're saying is he's not your favorite character, but you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
I said that multiple times.
No, I feel like we've only heard the negative version of that.
I think we definitely weaned you into liking him more.
Yes, that's what happened. That's what happened, Didge. We made you like Daredevil.
It's not.
I can sit here and say I'm not a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy until I watch those movies. And it's like, yeah, I like the Guardians of the Galaxy. If they make another one, I'll watch it. Cool. That's pretty much where you are.
I'm really watching it because it's gonna tie into something else. It's not necessarily, I gotta go see a Daredevil. It's like, all right,
I'm being honest with you, Didge. This is how you approached us when we first talked Daredevil with you. I don't give a fuck about Daredevil.
I still don't.
But it didn't seem like he's just not my favorite character. You made it seem like I don't give a fuck about Daredevil, fuck him, fuck Kingpin, fuck all the universe.
I like Kingpin.
It very much seemed
Kingpin's
like
great.
the whole Daredevil world you were throwing away. But now you're making it seem like, it's fine.
Great.
You just came off pretty strong with your dislike of Daredevil is all we're saying.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Usually it's Trayvon doing this. How dare you, Didge? What were you saying, Joel?
So I noticed that with the new logo that the double D's are very much present as opposed to like every
Are
other.
we just gonna just keep calling them the double D's like that?
Are they not the double D's?
The double
But
D's.
I
wrong?
It just, I guess.
Throw some D's on that. You know,
the way that your sentences are going with this.
Shut up, Mike. But no, they are. You know what scared me, Joel? What was the first thing we said when we heard that Charlie Cox was coming to the MCU? First thing we said is, you gotta change that suit.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't look like they changed it. They just altered it. And it's like, I don't want this at all. I don't like the suit. You took a very practical suit and made it armor. That defeats the whole purpose of him being like... I see double...
Oh, God.
I still believe I said nothing wrong. I'm looking at two D's right here. That's double D's. I don't understand. That's what I'm looking at.
I get it. It's just it sounds so weird.
It's the journey, baby. It's the journey for the double D's.
Right. Yeah, we worked hard to get here, to get these double D's, to get these precious double D's on that chest.
You're gonna get that.
Don't get us demonetized, man, by saying it too much.
No, it's over.
No,
monetization.
All jokes aside, Joe, as I pass it to you,
it's gone.
My issue with Daredevil's suit is the same issue I have with Nightwing's suit in Titans. To me, they're supposed to be super evasive, right? So it's like if you start to armor them up, I'm like, well, you don't have to do all the fucking parkour and flips. You're armored up. Go fucking fight them head on. I like the idea that they'd wear the leather suits or whatever suit you want to call it, to where it's like I can stab you right through it. Like I can stab you through it, shoot you, whatever the case may be, and you're just super elusive. I like that, but you kind of eliminate it when you're like, well, Nightwing now has like fucking static shock powers in his suit, and it's bulletproof. It's like, well, I don't like that.
Making
like that
street
at all.
level heroes bulletproof is boring. I'll always say it.
I do not disagree. Outside of Luke Cage, Luke Cage is fine.
I mean, yeah, that's his power. It's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that's
I
fine.
think that was always the exception.
Yeah, always. What were you saying, Joel? I'm passing it to you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like I do like the new yellow and red suit there. Everything. The more I see it, the more I like it. But I know it's not for long use. 'Cause we've heard
It's
that.
for here.
Yeah, we've heard that in Echo it'll be a black suit, and then we heard that we'll probably get a more traditional suit in his own show. So it's like, all right, well, that's a journey again towards the logo and his more traditional suit. We'll get there. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question right quick?
Yeah.
So what purpose does Daredevil have for changing the colors of his suit? He can't see it.
It's obviously a fashion trend.
Yikes!
Like, and I'll just say, like, it looks like he's wearing the same outfit, but he added yellow highlights. And it's like, who is that for?
Yeah.
Well,
And
remember,
someone's playing a
the
joke
way-
on him, and they didn't tell
the
him.
way that Netflix structured Daredevil was that he had someone making his suits.
Right.
So if someone is still making his suits, that was just an alteration they made. I don't think he asked for it. I don't think Daredevil came to somebody and said, "Hey, all black today."
I don't think
I
they
think
told
it-
him though either. Like, look, Matt,
Yeah.
I made some changes. I'm not gonna tell him that they're fucking yellow. He might yell at me.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be
He
fair,
ran
the
out
way-
of paint and he just doesn't tell them.
to be fair, the way Netflix structured Daredevil a lot, he was not leaving people to remember what the suit looked like. So
that'll probably be the big joke at the end. They're like, did you know you're wearing yellow and red, not like all red? No one said anything to me.
he's like, "I did not know. Thank you. I'll make sure I go all black next time."
Yeah.
All because he
Keep it
can't
consistent.
doesn't mean he can't be styling in these Hell Kitchen streets.
That's
Hell,
right.
hell yeah.
Just because you
Hell
can't
yeah.
see doesn't mean everyone else can't see you.
Yeah. I mean, Didge is also thrown, like, if you're going to give him the all black suit, give him the all black Air Forces, you know? Like,
Right.
really complete the outfit.
I mean,
you know?
we're talking football. We saw that. We saw how well those worked over this week.
Those are superpower. Yeah.
Right.
Those
Black
shoes
Forces-
work like Mike's, Didge.
Those do a lot. So.
There was some mantra being chanted in that locker room. Nelly was being played for sure.
Right.
But all right, let's move on. I hate y'all. Why do I podcast with y'all? Y'all are the worst. All right, let's move
You
on.
forced me to be here.
I did, and I'm glad I did. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Echo because I don't want to make it seem like we don't give a shit about Echo. Even though Vincent
Nice of
D'Onofrio
you.
and Charlie Cox did that. They were just like, all right, guys, in Echo. All right, but Charlie's here, so can she
Watch
get off
watch
stage?
the show be a big deal.
What happened?
Watch-
About it?
No,
I've heard
some
some.
crazy
I've heard
shit
some stuff
happening.
about it though.
what'd you hear?
She may have different powers.
I'm sorry, what?
She may have different powers.
Powers at all?
You said
Wait.
powers,
Powers,
like superpowers.
sort of.
Are we witching?
Not witching.
Damn.
I was
I
gonna
heard.
say that's
And you
wild.
know Trayvon out here bitching. You already know. He look at him. He queuing it up in his head right now.
We were on the edge of
But
greatness.
but there might be something to do with having. Damn, how do I explain? Let me see if I can pull it up so I don't say it wrong.
Okay. Well, while you're pulling that up, I will say, at this point, to me, don't even matter anymore. And I only say that because I argued with Trayvon for like 5 months on whether or not Shang-Chi had powers. I know he shouldn't, but apparently airbending is a Marvel superpower.
You know, all the things. He got all the things.
That is
Okay.
new.
I hate it. Look, Mike,
all the
Mike,
things.
and Didge, you guys weren't potting with us around when that came out. So I will tell you, I fought Trayvon hard as fuck on whether or not that motherfucker's abilities were powers, and I eventually relented on the idea of Marvel just does shit like that, like a character that's just really good at fighting. They're just like, well, that's not enough to sell people on. Let's give them Goku's powers. He can go
He got the
Super
power.
Saiyan.
They got the
He
power
can
of a
fly.
dragon, power
I'm
of
like,
dragon,
oh
and the
my
rings.
fucking god!
I love it.
I think my problem, guys, was how Trayvon left that movie feeling as though he got everything he wanted,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So much so, I think I hated that movie when we reviewed it
I could
together.
definitely see him
Like,
feeling vindicated leaving that.
100%.
I could see it.
And Didge, don't forget, he got the fucking sprinkles of Captain Marvel at the end of that shit too. I'm like, fuck no, Trayvon can't get all this
He
shit.
was eating good after that movie.
I
Dang,
was
no.
like, hell no.
You know, we were
Hell
one
no.
Sinzu being away from just going for the full gambit with Dragon Ball.
You were. Or you were one character away from conjuring a spell from Trayvon going, all right, I've ascended. This is it. I don't need any other Marvel movie.
Let
This
Wanda
is the
had
coup
shown
d'etat.
up.
This
Let
is
Wanda
the
had
coup d'etat.
randomly showed up. Oh, it would have been over.
Man.
Let me
Oh,
tell you something.
goodness gracious.
He got that power of that dragon. Then he got the rings after that. I said, woo, let's do this. I was like, this is great.
I will tell y'all, Trayvon was unbearable for about a good 3
Let's get
months
to
after that
it.
movie came out.
I
Goodness
might watch
gracious.
that shit tomorrow. Boy, that shit was great.
I might take it out of my watch list on Disney Plus.
It's a great movie.
Goodness.
It is.
was a
It
great
really is.
No, of course it was, but I can't fucking let Trayvon know I think that shit. Come on now. Joel, you find it?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
let it on us.
I don't know exactly how it's going to be implemented or whatever. It's a rumor. I'm just gonna say it's a rumor because I don't know how true it is. I didn't see any of the trailer, but apparently her hand is glowing in that trailer for whatever reason, and someone clarified saying she apparently has these spirits that give her powers, like magic tattoos that give her powers. So it's like interesting.
Come on, Vixen. She gives you some power.
I'm not sure how or what or how. We'll see. But she's gonna definitely be coming to her Native American side more.
Yes, I'm here for this.
You know, that
Yes.
sounds stupid considering where we left her in Hawkeye. But considering I don't care about Echo, that's probably enough to get me somewhat interested.
No, the only reason why I'm accepting of this is I literally just had this conversation with Joel that Taskmaster and Echo are way too fucking similar. And they were like, oh, we hear you. So Echo will now have powers. And I'm like, well,
Their
that
powers
is
are
different.
probably called echoes.
Don't let Trayvon know, right?
Love it.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, what is she known for visually?
Oh,
Right.
Her tattoo. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Her
it's
tattoo.
the handprint
Yeah, the handprint
On her
on her,
face.
on under her eye, over her eye. Yeah.
over her face.
Yeah, but I
So-
didn't need that to turn into
so
powers,
they did that. They just did that recently in the comics, apparently. 'Cause I was googling. I went
Well, in
to,
the comics, she's the fucking Phoenix.
yeah. So they're
That's
saying that
overkill.
they're saying the MCU might have took nods
she's
to that.
what?
In the comics, yeah, she has the Phoenix.
She's the Phoenix
This
right
picture is insane. Like
Yeah, she
Wow.
is the
the
Phoenix.
article I'm
Send it
reading
to me.
about it. The article I'm reading about it says that they're probably gonna do something. Obviously not Phoenix related, but
Yeah.
No. You know what's gonna happen? She's gonna get a power up, and that stupid theme is gonna play again, and it's gonna tease us. The X-Men exist, and we never gonna see it.
Oh, look at this.
I just
They should
so you
definitely
might-
do this in the show. Yep.
Oh
They
wait,
should do
this
this.
is an even better picture.
They
Wait,
should do this.
I mean, she looks cool as fuck.
she
They
does.
should do this.
All right, we're gonna wrap up the show here, guys. We'll see you next week.
No.
He
This
hates
is
so.
great. This is great. This is
I don't see
So
why it's
cool.
a bad thing. Why is it a bad thing?
Because where's the fucking parody at this point?
What
Joel?
parody? She's without it, she's kind of a boring character. At least a
Yes!
character.
She just becomes
No,
another
let
soldier.
it be boring. Shit, goddamn! I had
Another-
abilities to fuck
another
people that didn't
assassin.
have them.
Added to
It
the
Goddamn.
sounds a
Another
lot cooler
assassin.
than what she's been the
Right.
last couple
Oh
of years.
my
Until recently.
God.
But no, I don't want to make it a Phoenix, so this is way cooler.
Yeah, this is cool, but you know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, not gonna lie.
She is not a mutant, to be fair. I'm just saying.
Oh, does that fucking matter in the MCU?
Tell that to Kamala
But to be
Khan.
fair, this
the
is
fuck?
Well, Kamala Khan was an Inhuman. She's not even an Inhuman.
Well, I mean, shit. He might just lump the shit in. Who knows? Fucking knows.
I mean, it might be magic based.
Oh God! Don't tell Trayvon shit like that, Joel. Come on. What did we just say?
I'm just
Goddamn,
saying, I'm
I don't
just
like
trying to
him
make
getting shit
sense
that
of
he
it,
wants.
Like it's
Be
gonna
nonsensical.
You know what? Let me. You know what? I'm gonna roll it back. You know, Kevin, I love you. Kevin, you doing a good job out here. You doing a good job out here.
Trayvon, you know why I call bullshit on that? Me and Joel have been telling you for a year. If there's anybody who should never complain, it's you. Trayvon, he gave you a fucking Agatha show. Do you think that's for anybody but you?
This is true.
That's for you. That's for you. Right there. You.
I'm also interested in the Agatha show.
No, you're not,
Thank
Didge.
you.
Shut up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shut up, Didge. No, you're not.
Thank you. Thank
Fucking
you.
side with him.
Thank you.
What is wrong with you?
I am also interested in that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Did you know what? You've turned to the Trayvon side. Okay. That's what happened. You let Trayvon do that to you. Look, again, the biggest thing I'll look forward to in this show is Kingpin with the eye patch trying to run for governor or mayor, whatever the fuck. I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That sounds so much fun.
Lead me right into Daredevil.
I'm interested in this series.
Me too.
I was
more
too
so-
until 20
more
minutes
so
ago.
now.
I was interested even before that.
That's what I'm saying. I was interested before this. Now I'm like,
I
I'm
mean,
interested in seeing the
Now
actors more.
imagine this. She got the dog right there. Also,
yes,
Jessica
Mike,
Jones
please
did.
bring up this comment right here and give this person an award. If we got awards to hand out, please bring up this comment. Yes, the
How's
comment
he
of
wild
the
for
night.
that? How's he wild for that? Agatha is a witch. Daredevil is a
Well, where-
blind fighter.
Yes.
Sorry.
Again, the
Where's
Agatha.
the logic here?
I'm interested in
Witch
it. It wasn't
versus a
like,
blind fighter. What you mean? What
I take blind fighter.
The
Trayvon.
blind
Oh,
is
okay.
way more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot harder to
Okay.
navigate. You got
Okay.
witch powers. Ooh.
this comment though doesn't do it justice. It's not that I was out there like, all right, we need the Agatha show. Man, now I thought, oh, that'd be cool to watch.
Nah,
That was it.
there was some inflection. You was like, I don't know.
I definitely didn't I didn't throw any of that in.
You know. And then
I
for
didn't-
Daredevil, you was like, whatever. Like that's
the
what you
show
got.
is good, but I don't care about the character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
fuck the
said-
guy the show's named after, right? Like, I'm not here for him. What else you got? Like, what else can I chew on here? I'm not here for the main character.
I'm actually in Daredevil for Kingpin.
Did you see the?
I believe you.
Did you see the picture of the? Damn it! What the fuck is it? I keep forgetting things. It's in Black Panther 2. Oh
Okay.
my god!
I will say really quickly, this has nothing to do with Marvel, but if the fucking Broncos lose to the Seahawks, I will feel vindicated this week. But
looking
anyway,
sad.
back to what you were saying, Joel. I'm
It's
sorry.
looking very sad.
I just got really happy. But go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
Where was I? Oh, Anika. You know the new character, Anika.
Oh, her
Yes.
her armor.
Yes. Did you see the full suit?
Yeah, I did. I can
She
try
looks
to
like Predator and shit. But
let me
it's
see if I can
because
find it again.
it looks like the Midnight Angels. Like I keep saying, that's gonna be a thing.
Okay.
They're gonna do a spin-off of that. Watch.
I don't wanna
Mike,
say
I
anything
will
else
send
about
it to you as well.
No, it's okay. We're
Sweet.
moving on.
You don't want to see the suit?
It's okay.
The suit looks dope.
All right.
I've
what do we
already
got
sent
left?
it to him.
Wow, Jamar. What's going on?
I don't know when the anger
All
in.
my enjoyment out. All my fucking.
poor guy.
You mad? Are you mad? Cause Echo be flying around? Like it's awesome.
Yes, I
You don't know
enjoyed
if she's
seeing.
gonna fly.
I enjoyed. Well,
If
Trayvon
she
gets
got
what
the
he wants.
Phoenix
She will
Force-
fucking fly.
No,
If
no,
she
no.
had
no.
the Phoenix
In the
Force-
comics, she can fly because she's the Phoenix, but in the show, she's not the Phoenix.
Look,
You know?
Joel, I can't argue anymore. Trayvon gets what he wants. She will fucking fly frontwards, backwards,
Yeah.
left, and right.
We don't know
I know.
how. Look, again, it's a rumor. We don't even know if it's real.
Nah, it's real because
First of all-
Trayvon created the rumor.
There it is. Look at it right there,
Ooh.
on the right. Well, on the left, our left.
Cool.
Shit,
Let's
I
go.
got super confused when you said that. I'm like, what is my left? Okay, I get you.
I like
Alright.
how they got like the tracksuit up there, like that. needed to be
Right.
there.
We're not gonna show you the Black Panther, but you can see Shuri's tracksuit.
I'm just looking at She-Hulk sitting in the background. Dang, that looks pretty dope.
Well, the Avengers ride showcased that She-Hulk will have another suit by the next time we see her.
Good, because this one's slightly overcomplicated. The Avengers Campus one is a little more streamlined, which I
Yes,
prefer.
yes. But all right, let's move on because I
Wanda
want
back
to.
there too.
Shut up, Trayvon. I
We
want to do
witching,
these last
baby.
two. I want to do these last two before we get out of here. Captain America: New World Order.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got some confirmations there. We got a confirmation that the leader that we spoke into existence
Yeah.
will be making his long-awaited return in, very weirdly, Captain
New
America: New
World
World
Order.
Order. Still pissed I didn't get my Serpent Society. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know who I need to talk to, but this is bullshit. We do now know officially that what's his name from Falcon and the Winter Soldier will become Falcon.
Mhm.
We now
Damn.
have confirmation for that. We also know that
Mhm.
what's his name? That was she's a runner, she's a track star. Whoever this is in the comment section is winning tonight.
Yeah,
Was it Carl?
Carl
What's
Lumley.
the act? Yes.
Coming
Carl
back
Lumley.
Yes.
as
will be
Isaiah
Isaiah Bradley.
There we go. Thank you. Damn, y'all just filled the whole sentence. Thank you.
I didn't know where you were going.
I didn't either. That's why I'm like that. They filled in everything. Thank you. I'm very excited for this movie mainly because I want to know.
And they're introducing Sabra, a new character.
Yes, thank you. I want to know why. I want to know what the decision was behind this
She
being
has power.
Captain America 4
Yes. she
instead
does.
of just a whole new anthology
She's a mutant.
for Sam. So I'm very curious the story behind that.
This is
That was the
Captain
first
America
thing I thought.
4. I didn't notice.
Yeah. So I want to know why, because to me that makes no sense.
I just realized that all the A's are 4 in the scroll thing at the bottom.
You
Yeah.
now realize my sarcastic tone.
Yeah, no, I got it when you said it. So I'm trying to figure out
we
why
didn't-
they
it's-
went.
I thought you just
They
weren't
didn't-
here for the movie, to be
The
honest.
character wasn't reboot. He just continued. The
No.
mantle was passed down.
No. Hear me, Trayvon. Hear me.
Keep it
If
moving.
Thor: Love and Thunder ended with Jane living and Thor dying, I would not want her next movie to be Thor 5. You're not the same person. Just create a whole new anthology for a whole new
this
character
movie isn't called Captain America 4. It's called Captain America New World Order.
that was slated as number 4 to Cap's anthology. That was exactly how it was first announced.
I mean,
It's
sure,
Captain America 4.
Sure.
And
it's
then they
fine.
named it. That's all I'm saying. I'm wondering why you're continuing someone else's
I don't
anthology.
look at it that way. I mean,
What would you want to call
the
it?
mantle's passed down. Like, I
It's a
don't know.
whole new it's this should be Captain America 1. This is
It is.
Sam's first
It
Captain
is.
America.
It is.
Technically for him.
Yeah, 'cause it's not. If it's
Yeah,
New
it's
World
not.
Order, it's not 4 listed.
No, I get
Right.
you because they named it. But when they first announced he was getting a movie, they announced it as Captain America 4.
Because it is.
Because the
the
character
It's
is
the
not
fourth
rebooted.
movie. It's the fourth
Yeah.
movie starring Captain
not a reboot.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he ain't the same person.
It's still
I
Captain
understand.
America.
But he's Captain America. That's the issue. You want it broken up by Steve Rogers, Sam
Yes.
Wilson, but
Yes.
Hey,
the
you can do
title
that.
of the
You can do that.
franchise is
It's called
Captain America.
Because then, what else would you call this one?
Yeah, really.
And the Jane Foster thing, I don't
Black
think applies.
Falcon, New World Order. That's what he wants.
Right.
I mean, I personally wanted Captain Falcon.
Because like at least
If I
Jane
had
though
to
is
vote.
the mighty Thor, and then you have Thor Odinson. At least she has a
Right.
slightly
A
different name.
title.
Right, she has a title. If
Even
you're
if it's
going
stupid.
with Captain America, it's technically always going to be Captain America 4, whether we consider
Call him
it or
Captain
not.
Falcon. Yeah, just call him Captain Falcon. Solves everything. There you go. Boom. Done.
Nintendo
There you
Direct
go.
tomorrow morning. everybody.
Nintendo might sue.
And then
Fuck
They-
Nintendo,
they-
State
man.
of play after that. State of play after that.
Hey, fuck Nintendo. If they try to sue, just say they're racist. That's how they back off. But all right, I am excited for this tremendously, and wow, they did lose this game. Suck it, Russell Wilson. But you go home to Sierra. Never mind. All right, so I'm very excited for this
64-yard
movie.
field goal miss, bro.
He thought his name was Justin Tucker, but I'm very excited for this movie. So, with all this Banner leaving Earth and now the leader, are we finally going to get a Hulk movie? Yes, that was speculated that we would get a Hulk movie. That would be.
I
more
do
so
believe.
Hulk.
I think New World Order is connected to it.
Well, as Mike would say, what isn't these days?
Well, Mike would also say it would be a pretty sick idea to have Banner co-star in that movie.
Oh, no. You cannot do that. No. You started his reign as Captain America alongside somebody. You cannot make his first major movie co. You can't do that to him. No fucking way. No,
I
no
mean,
way you do that to him. No.
He's fighting the leader. It's kind of weird for Banner
Look
to
at
not
you
be
fighting.
involved in
Look
some
at you
way.
standing up for Anthony Mackie.
No,
There you
see,
go.
no,
There you go.
I don't like that narrative. I'm standing up for Sam Wilson, who just so unfortunately happens to be played by that piece of shit Anthony Mackie. I'm supporting Sam
Look
Wilson.
at you sticking up for Anthony Mackie.
I'm telling you right now, Didge, if you think that I haven't tried sending drugs to his hotels or women to get him caught up in a scandal, I've tried it every day. Every fucking day. I don't like Anthony Mackie. I like Sam Wilson. That is where it begins and ends for me. Don't make it any more than that.
I'm starting that narrative. I'm starting that narrative. Juwan's biggest
If
Anthony
you start
Mackie
that
fan
narrative,
ever.
Didge, if you start that narrative, I'll start the narrative. You don't like Daredevil because he's blind. That's the narrative I'm going to start.
I don't like to say this.
You already started that one.
You definitely already started that narrative.
Didge don't like blind people. So if y'all listening,
That's
Just
still
saying.
not true, guys.
I mean, I don't like Anthony Mackie, but here we are. Anyway, Trayvon, I go to you first. How excited are you for this? And how, because I know you know who the character is, how weird, and again, Trayvon, another aha to you. The leader coming into the MCU, again, guess what that is? Another notch in the belt that you cannot refute Incredible Hulk being MCU canon. Just saying. You keep trying to.
You
and every
saying
day,
that? You
they
saying
keep
that?
introducing
But
people.
I still don't know who this character is. You're talking about the leader.
You don't know the leader?
I don't know. No care.
Really?
You will know the leader. Same actor's coming back though.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even like. I swear to God, I do not remember the Hulk movie at all. So it's just
Well,
like
that's
whatever.
because you
Well,
keep
he's-
trying to pretend it doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
That's your problem. It does.
No.
We're bringing back
But-
another character that was in that movie. What else do you need?
I hope they explain it in the movie.
How,
Well,
Trayvon? He's
They
canon.
did explain them in the movie. I don't know.
He's
I'm
canon.
not. I'm not
What
going back.
explanation
I'm
do
not
you need?
going back. Not going back.
I
Let
mean,
me
they're
ask
gonna have
you.
to explain it just because Sam doesn't know who the heck this guy is.
No,
Yeah.
and because we haven't seen him since like what 2010. I
Oh,
get
don't
that.
recap. Don't
But
definitely recap.
Trayvon, let me ask you this: if somebody came to you and said, "Who's this Karen Page? I need to know who she is," you would go, "Have you seen Daredevil?" Yeah. Well, how the fuck do you not know who she is? She didn't change. It's the same thing. The leader didn't change. He just is more evolved than the last time.
He
we
wasn't
saw
the
him.
leader in that movie, so he doesn't.
He was
really
becoming
doesn't.
the leader. He was becoming the leader.
His
He
head
That's
was
started
already
just-
starting to
morphing.
get big.
Right.
That's just one of them times where I tell people don't ask me no questions.
Oh,
If
well,
you don't know
that's
this
fair.
character, ask me nothing.
That's fair. Send them to me,
I'm just-
Trayvon. Send them to me.
Um,
But are you excited for this movie? Outside of that character, are you excited for this movie?
I am, but I honestly don't know like what's happening in this movie.
No one
Well,
does.
none of us does. That's
So it's
why we
like,
said the
I'm
leader
happy-
is really weird.
I'm happy he's getting his movie, but it's like
There you go,
There you
Trayvon.
go.
He says, "Remember me?" That's what he's saying in that smile. Remember me, Trayvon? See, you don't remember him? Okay, all right, whatever. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm happy he's getting his movie. I just can't wait to find out what
Better have
it's
his
about.
goatee.
What
I am really-
what genre is it in? Like,
Political
They-
or something.
They said it was a paranoid thriller.
oh, they did.
Yeah.
No, I
Kind
thought
of.
that was Secret Invasion. They
No,
said
that was that.
It was.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could really describe both of them as the same thing.
Also true.
Yeah.
I don't know what a
Nick Fury
paranoid
was very
thriller is,
paranoid
though,
in
to be
there.
honest.
I feel like I'm
Kinda
paranoid
one of
in all
those
thrillers. So
Well,
Right,
I
that's
think
why I
where-
said I don't know what it is. Like
I
Mike
think what
said.
I think what makes Secret Invasion more so a paranoid thriller is that you literally don't know who to trust. Right? You don't even know if we could trust the main character in Fury.
I don't.
Right? So it's like it's paranoid in the sense of because usually in a thriller, you know you have your main character that's your good guy. You know where that character's heading, right? They got to figure
Right.
out what's going on. This might be Fury's trying to avoid us from really finding out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's paranoid in the sense of who the fuck can I trust? What's
Oh, so
happening
it's like a conspiracy fiction. That's another name for paranoid thriller. Didn't know
There you
that.
Well, New World Order is basically.
But now,
This sounds
yeah,
good.
now it makes a lot more sense when you talk about New World Order, conspiracy, blah 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 blah. Now it makes a lot more sense.
Because Winter Soldier is still arguably one of the best MCU movies. So I'm
yeah,
very
anything that's close to
excited
that.
to see. Yeah, that was amazing. Time.
Yeah, that's kind of
So-
exactly like that, right?
Mhm.
Shit.
Yeah,
Except
so-
this one is going to be slightly more power based with the leader. That one was strictly just street
You
level.
think his
to
head's
sense.
gonna be fully big now?
It better be.
Shit. Can we
I
say
think
that?
it's
I don't know what the
still
fuck I
not.
was looking at with MODOK. So I'm like, MODOK looks like that. I don't know where the
think
bar's at.
I honestly don't think it is because he's still listed as both the leader and I forgot his actual name already that quickly. But when
Samuel
you look at
Stearns.
how they have it already, Cat, they have him literally as both. So
That's
I
what
wonder
to
if
be
he's
fair,
still going to be in like a
both.
transition state.
To be fair, Didge, that's
could still
exactly
be
what they're
Samuel
doing
Stearns.
with Abomination for reasons I don't understand. He switches in between when
Well,
the
he's
character in the comics
he's
doesn't.
switching back.
Right. So
But
I
bro,
think
that
I think
big
this
head,
character
it's
might
not like
be
that
able.
head can shrink and grow. The head better
I
not be able
mean,
to
They
shrink and
might.
grow.
It
They
might
might.
be able to.
Ew.
If they go
Ew.
down the same path of I've had 10 years to master this gamma ability, he can just, go up.
I
and
mean,
down.
because think about it. Think about it.
Ew.
Abomination is expanding his body and shrinking his head. So essentially, the leader will be shrinking his body and expanding his head. So yeah,
I
it
hope
could work.
not.
I stopped giving Marvel hope at this point with these designs. It's whatever.
That would be so bad.
Whatever. To me, the more important thing is the mustache. I don't give a fuck how big your head is.
The goatee.
That stash is very important. That shit is quintessential. But Mike, how excited are you for this New World Order? The whole movie is going to be a Key and Peele skit, and they're just going to be calling Sam Black. Which is funny because he actually had to say that when they did like the not red carpet, but like the carpet interviews after his panel, where he had to reiterate like it's not Black Captain America, it's just Captain America. And it's like, well,
he said Steve wasn't called White Captain America. I was like, yeah,
right.
Say that.
It's gonna take people a lot of time to adjust to that. But yes, that is very true. Yes, I'm glad Sam Wilson said that because that's very true.
Yes, we don't want to give any credit to Anthony Mackie.
100%. I don't even know who the fuck that is. But Mike, how excited are you
Captain
for New
America.
World Order? I don't know that. I know Sam Wilson. But Mike, how excited are you for New World Order?
I am excited. The Winter Soldier is still top 3 MCU movies for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anything like once you tell me that this is a thriller, which is the exact same genre that the Winter Soldier was playing around in, I'm excited. I think Anthony Mackie's great as Sam Wilson. And it's kind of weird that Sebastian Stan's not in this movie, but I guess he's busy with the Thunderbolts.
I don't remember.
I'm hoping they cross paths.
The biggest reason why you didn't want Bucky in this movie is to a degree he was essentially Sam's sidekick. We just said he's getting a full-on sidekick, so it's like, well, there's no room. Like there's just you want to give this new character as much time as possible,
and that they both can be flying around in the air.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is funny
Steve had
he
Natasha and then Sam in the Winter Soldier, so I feel like there's still room for Bucky in this movie.
I felt like Sam can't. Oh, well, also remember at that point, Bucky and Black Widow had already had major time on their own. This character is essentially trying to get that time of his own. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to essentially bury them. You know what I'm saying? Because you do. If you look at Sebastian Stan and Sam Wilson, that's where the attention goes, right? You don't really give this guy much because he's a newcomer. You want to give him as much time as possible. You know what I'm saying? I think really the biggest anomaly is Doctor Strange with having Wong, Strange, and then bringing up America Chavez. You know what I'm saying? But America Chavez wasn't going to become the new sidekick for Doctor Strange. So it didn't really matter. You just need.
I don't know. She's in Camartage right now as we speak.
She might become the sidekick for Wong, but Doctor Strange don't play that shit. He don't do sidekicks.
The Sorcerer Supreme doesn't need a sidekick, man.
I mean, Wong was.
Doctor Strange might.
It shouldn't, but Doctor Strange at some point should regain becoming Sorcerer Supreme. It should not stay with Wong.
On Wonger's dead body.
If I gotta kill that motherfucker, Dormammu, where you at?
Whoa. So Wong,
Doctor Strange should be. I'm sorry.
Wong is going to be protected.
He can be, but not as the Sorcerer Supreme. That's all I'm saying. But Mike, did you want to add anything else about New World Order?
I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. We still don't have a ton of information aside from the leader, which is a very strange pull. I'm interested to see where they go with it. I don't see that working as a Captain America villain per se, but I trust him. I'm sure it's going to work out, so can't wait for more.
And I'll add this to you, Mike, as I pass it to you, Didge. I think the leader being in New World Order, and a lot of us thinking the Hulk might make an appearance, you know what we're overlooking? That something in She-Hulk could lead us into New World Order. We still need to figure out who wanted Jin's blood. And that sounds very much like a leader thing, right?
Yeah.
That's what we all thought. We all thought that's the leader, right?
It also sounds like a Ross thing. Just saying.
It is, but I don't know how intertwined you truly want to go with Ross, knowing that the actor for him passed away. And
I'm just saying, like Thunderbolts, Red Hulk type of stuff can still.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Saying. So you're saying it could be like Val. It doesn't have to be like actual Ross. I get you.
Let's be real. It's probably just titanium. But
that wants her blood? Bitch, you want to take my name and my blood? Goddamn, one or the other. Shit, you can't have both. What kind of vampire shit is that? Yeah, so we might get something for this that's maybe a breadcrumb for New World Order.
Yeah.
And remember, there might still be a Hulk movie somewhere in between somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like he might get even more there. Who knows? But Didge, I'll go to you next. New World Order. Where's your excitement level at?
I don't know enough to say like it's super high. I'm excited that Sam's gonna get his Captain America movie. I did want that after watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so that's great. It's one of those things where it's like I know it's probably gonna be pretty good, so
I don't doubt that.
I'm there. I can't say like, oh, it's at like a 9 or a 10 because it's like we don't know anything. And you kind of got in my head when you saying that the leader's gonna shrink his head. That kind of threw that threw me for a wrench.
I want to just jump in right quick and just add that this is also stability. Like, even though this is a different Captain America, the Captain America franchise has been the most consistently good in the MCU. Like, all 3 movies, I think, are around my top 12 MCU films.
Wow.
That's how much I love.
I'm not high on First Avenger.
That's how much I love Captain America, though.
I like First Avenger a lot.
It's really good. But I just want to put that out there. It's like, it's stability, because no matter how you feel about the MCU, the Captain America franchise has always been top tier.
Yeah.
So even people who are
divisive.
skeptical will
Divisive.
still come back for it.
Yeah,
aside
100%.
from the racist crowd.
Oh, well, you can't do nothing about that.
Right.
But it's the least divisive for sure. Like, no one ever argues. Like, no, that movie sucked ass. Like, no, it's just we all kind of come together and go, no, it's pretty fucking solid. So, we like it. No, I get you though, Didge. I think we all want more information, because I think if you didn't tell me the leader was in it, I didn't need more information. You telling me it's a thriller, whatever, I'm hyped for it, right? It's a chance to see Sam back as Captain America.
Right.
I'm good. It's you throwing that wrench of the leader that makes me go, well,
what are we doing here
explain
now?
Yeah, you kind of got to tell me what's happening. That's like telling me, like, all right, Ironheart comes out, and guess what? Main villain, Dormammu. I'm sorry, what the fuck? What did you just say? That's not even her villain. Like, that's not even her villain. What's happening here? But Joel, New World Order, hype level.
Very excited. Even more so now. 'Cause I was excited before, but there was really no information. So it's like, this sounds cool, but just the name New World Order is a cool name. But knowing that the leader coming back is wow. I'm very happy about that. I've been wanting him back for a long time. I was speculating last week on She-Hulk about it, so it's like I would really like to see him be that villain that we were talking about. Right. And then they go and announce him for Captain America, and I'm like, wow, well, that fucking at least opens the door to a possibility. Though we don't know if we're 100% sure, but I do think that New World Order is connected to She-Hulk in some capacity. And the events of that will connect to whatever happened to Banner off-world for right now. And I think maybe the events of New World Order create whatever Hulk solo, if there's a World War Hulk type of movie at the end. Because I think maybe his whatever Hulk army the leader maybe puts together through getting the She-Hulk blood is what creates that World War Hulk. And where then the Hulk has to come down and settle shit, because that's when they're going to really need him. And by the time he comes back, maybe he's not the same old Professor Hulk that we know. He's maybe more of a balance of the two, and is more a war-bound, Hulk. And he probably comes with like a crew or some shit. Like, anything's possible. But I do think it starts with, I think Captain America New World Order will be like that middle between the two.
Yeah, I'm just really nervous with whatever this Hulk movie is, because that World War Hulk, that whole run, what was more intriguing about it was the aftermath of when he arrives back on Earth, and just the amount of ass whooping he opened up, right? And it's like, we clearly know we're not going to get that, right?
Well, we're not going to get it with the characters that he did it with.
And that's to me is where I'm more curious where they go. If they just go, his revenge is on a particular villain, right?
Or
not
villains.
Everybody, right? And that's where it's kind of just like, because there's nothing more iconic to me when it comes to Hulk than him landing on the moon, fighting Black Bolt and going, I'm not here to hear you whisper. I'm here to hear you scream. And just beats the dog shit out of Black Bolt. So I'm like, to me, it's things like that. Like, he beat the shit out of Juggernaut. Like, there were just a lot of characters he went super OP against. And it's like, that's what made that arc special, is those OP characters he went just crazy against.
For the 90% of the world that has not read that, they're gonna have to switch things up, and it's like I understand your pain, but I also like they want to use it, they want to try it. I'm not gonna tell them no, don't give me more Hulk.
No,
Man,
I
we've
want
been
more
waiting,
Hulk.
You know,
it's just my true issue is using World War Hulk when you essentially already gave me that, and now you're just doubling down on it.
They're gonna use the name it probably. That's the only difference.
Right, and as long as it's not the same narrative that I'm talking about, I don't care. I'm fine. Whatever.
That can't be.
No. I mean the narrative of that world's destroyed. He wants revenge. Comes down for revenge. I want them to avoid that altogether.
I don't think there's going to be revenge, but I think he's going to need to come back and help. I think that's really more or less what's.
And he'll bring Scar. Yeah, I can't.
And he'll bring probably Scar. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll bring Beta Ray Bill.
And he should bring Beta Ray Bill. You know why? Because Thor took
we miss Beta Ray Bill.
No, the trade-off. Thor took Korg and Meek.
Oh, that is true. But then what is Beta Ray Bill's weapon?
Right now he doesn't have one. Now, that's what I'm saying. But now I'm open to like him eventually getting it from Love. But
he's just gonna call it the same thing. See, they're not gonna acknowledge it.
See, and Joel, we argued about this before. I hate you saying that because
I'm open to
I
it.
love her. No, not the Beta Ray Bill part. I love Love with what is he called? Stormbreaker. Because I also don't want them to age her up. If they age her up, then I don't need her to have both. But seeing a child that small with that massive fucking weapon, I love it.
As tall as her.
That's what I'm saying. I love it. I don't want them to get rid of that too soon. I just don't. I'd much rather Thor find someone to make the mace
permanent
for Beta Ray Bill. That's all I'm saying. If they age her up, then I know it's not. I know it's going away. I just don't want them to age her up.
But even if she ages naturally, I mean, it's gonna be a while, and she's gonna hit puberty at some point.
Yeah, for sure. And then once you get there, here you go, Beta Ray Bill. I am the power. But as long as you're this small, keep that.
They might not age her up. I guess it'll see how much pull does Chris Hemsworth have. Remember, that's his daughter. He might be like, hey, look, whoa, you're not aging up my daughter.
Right.
You want to recast my bloodline?
Right.
Got me fucked up. All right. What did Roman Reigns say? It's all about the bloodline, bitch. All right. So she stays.
She might not get aged up just because who she's related to.
Yeah, but we also have to keep in mind she may have only wanted to do this to have fun with her dad.
Also
she
true.
doesn't want to be an actor.
Also
so that is something to keep in mind. Also, we're pushing this on this little girl. You're gonna be Love till you die. She's like, I don't want that. I don't care. You're doing it.
It might go the opposite. Marvel was like, all right, so your daughter's in the next one. Whoa, she's done. She said that
she don't want to do no more. She handed the axe to me right when we finished filming.
She's done, but you signed. So,
yo, can I just say, can I just say, I've never met anybody who isn't into sports that values a contract the way Trayvon does. Trayvon,
when it comes to characters,
contract.
Yeah.
Coming back, right? Like, Trayvon, I didn't even think of that. Like,
I need your ass to be signed up for at least 3. Don't play with me. Like,
all right, Trayvon.
Can you sign up a 4-year-old to 3 years though? 3.
Hey, that's Trayvon.
She in the movie. Look
at Trayvon. He's like, I don't give a fuck. We witching over here. You
should have put it in it. Should have put it in.
You honor him. No, but Trayvon, New World Order. You hyped for it? I think I went to you, but just in case I didn't, you hyped for New World Order?
Yeah, you went to me already, but yeah, I'm excited for it because like if it's like Winter Soldier and stuff, yeah, sure.
Gotcha. All right, we're gonna end on Secret Invasion because there's no way we can not talk about it. It had actual fucking footage. So I just don't fucking know what really to expect. And you want to know something funny? This trailer was exactly what people described that was released at San Diego Comic-Con. Trayvon is a lawyer for all character contracts. Apparently he is. This man brings up contracts like there's no tomorrow.
You signed up.
I didn't hear he signed a contract. Is he coming back? It's like, what? Yes.
I don't like hearing that. Oh, we're playing it by ear. No. I need to know you come back. That's it.
Trayvon said, you don't even need a pen. You got blood? Sign right here. You got a soul? Hand that over.
He gets an update for every contract. Let me add.
He gets a Google alert. He has a Joel-like spreadsheet, but just for contracts. Like, all right, I did see that he signed on for 5 movies. Okay.
Imagine me getting the road that can fly and shit. This is what I want to do next movie. The fuck? Get your ass back in here. What you
Trayvon
mean?
gonna show up to her house. And just,
What you mean?
I think you thought this was a game.
wait, did Trayvon pulls a Mark Cuban, locks him in their own house, sitting there, and is just like, you don't leave, or I don't leave, so you sign that fucking contract. So you ready, or what we doing?
And
I called the cops. I don't give a fuck who you called. I ain't leaving. So you sign this shit.
and you know that's what Sony did to Tobey Maguire. It's like, hey, we still got you for Spider-Man 4.
It's like,
This is
remember,
your Spider-Man 4.
remember, you never did it. Wait, Trayvon, that's why Ben Affleck's like, no. You're going to do that Flash movie. That's my last obligation, and then I'm fucking done. You're going to do that shit, so y'all don't try to pull a Batman movie out of my ass. Do it. But no, so Secret Invasion, this is a little confusing. Like,
A little.
Sam's back, right?
Statement of the year.
Right? Sam's back. We haven't seen him since the events of Spider-Man, right? Maria Hill
Spider-Man
is
2.
claiming Spider-Man 2, yes, Spider-Man 2. When you said it, I'm like, Spider-Man 2.
Far from
I keep
home.
forgetting because I'm used to Tobey's movies not being named. So it's like, when you said Spider-Man 2, I'm like, excuse me, what? I'm like, oh, that's right. Far From Home. What'd you say, Trayvon?
Sam?
Well, you said Sam Jackson. Fury.
Oh, God, it just
Yeah,
didn't.
I'm sorry. My
Boy, it
apologies.
didn't
Fury,
register.
Nick Fury,
Okay,
Nick Fury,
okay.
Nick Fury.
He
Okay.
tries to not
Um,
say Anthony Mackie so much.
That
He
I
says
give
Sam
everybody-
Wilson, and it overcompensates.
That's pretty much what happened. That's exactly. Nick Fury is back, obviously, since Far From Home. We also see Talos. And what I like about Talos is this might be what veers him in the direction a lot of people have always wanted his character to be, which is evil. It
Did you do that
does
on
seem
purpose?
like... Say it again?
Veers. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't. So if
Okay.
that's
Okay.
something, then
Never mind.
thank you. But no,
It was a
it's-
Captain Marvel.
It's
It
a
was
Captain Marvel thing. I
thing.
caught it.
Yeah.
I caught it.
No,
I definitely caught it.
No,
Veers is what they called her.
no, I did not.
Because they only
I
got
didn't
half of
even
her
think
name.
it. Yeah, I didn't even think of it. Sorry. It did not click in my brain. I'm like, oh yeah. So obviously Maria Hill is stating that he has not been communicating with her for several years. She has lost her patience with Nick Fury. She probably found out he used a scroll to be her instead of just calling her and asking her to do her job, right? Like, well, fuck you. I thought you disbanded this shit. You in space now? The fuck? Which is weird because if they disappeared together, that means they came back together, which means once they came back, Fury said, all right, peace. All right, take care. You know, you do you. I'm going up.
This comment's
And then
hilarious.
just never talk to her again. Bring the comment up, Mike.
Ghosted her pretty bad.
Fury
That
came
was
down
funny.
to Earth and was like, I'm tired of these motherfucking scrolls and impersonating these motherfucking people. Yo,
that
can we
was-
make that the comment of this episode? That was good. Oh, you got to join every stream. Make sure you're here every stream. But yeah, so obviously a whole bunch of chaos is happening. And I know a lot of people were confused when he said, I have to stop them from doing the one thing that they want. He was talking about the invasion. It's why the title card popped up. I know a lot of people are like, well, what is it, Fury? What are they here for? An invasion,
Me.
guys. It's the
They're here for me.
it's- No, they're not. He's just there to stop them. They're there for an invasion.
Yeah.
It was funny because right after the title card, it was just him again. So it's like,
It was.
you
Like-
know, somebody's like, oh, they just want Nick Fury. Why did they get him in space?
Which the first thing I said, Didge, was you started this trailer, full beard, right? No eye patch and everything. You end it, beard's gone. Fucking scroll. That was the first thing I thought. Was, all right, you're a scroll. Clearly, you just showed me.
And you're a bad scroll at that because it's like we didn't think to maybe look who you're impersonating. Like, all right, he has facial hair.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Because think about it. From the time they met Nick Fury to modern day, the man's only ever had a goatee, right? He first had nothing and then grew a goatee and had that goatee for decades. So they're probably like, our files, they didn't get updated. Oh, we only had the fucking goatee. When did this come?
They saw a
What is
picture
this?
afterwards. Like, bro, what is it? Facial hair? Just threw the picture down.
Like, dog, we took pictures as Fury without this beard. We look stupid out in this shit. But this is very crazy. That one scene at the restaurant I thought was weird. where they were different people, then turn into Skrulls, and then turn into him. I'm like,
I think that
was cool.
I
I was like,
like
what?
one of those things where it's like it's all in his mind at that moment.
Maybe,
Well-
because I thought, why would that be intimidating? You already have a bunch of people with you. Like, now you made them all look like you? I'm like,
Are you ready to fight yourself?
right? You ready to fight all of me's? It's like, oh, okay. Well, all right. No. But no, I'm very excited for this because I know nothing about it, and I am curious what the big name that's not too big is the Skrull. My money immediately, as soon as I saw Rhodey in this shit, was like, oh, well, maybe. Maybe. That might be one, right? Might be one. I think Everett Ross might be one. I was just telling Joel, think about it. Everett Ross was in Black Panther 1, Black Panther 2, Civil War, and now Secret Invasion, right? Now, the commonalities of those is you can make an argument as a Skrull. Wakanda has some of the strongest materials on Earth, right? You scouted it, right? We don't know what his role is in Black Panther 2. And we don't know what his role is in Secret Invasion. And one of his biggest roles in Civil War was to help keep the Avengers divided. So I'm like, it might be some shit to Everett Ross, because I really have no idea why the fuck he exists. And Black Panther didn't really make it that much clear. So I am curious what Everett Ross's role there is, but did Fury take like 30 minutes to not stop the invasion to go to the barber to get a lineup? He said, nah, I gotta look fresh before I shut this. Yes, that's exactly. Can you put another star? You were just on fucking fire tonight. Goodness. And the Emmy for the best comments goes
There
to...
you go.
Goodness gracious. We are just snapping here tonight. But Mike, I go to you, the whole Thriller thing being something that stands out to you. Secret Invasion high on your anticipated list?
Not really.
Oh, how dare you?
I'm interested, but I still don't know what this show is. The trailer didn't make it any clearer. So I guess on one hand, I'm just intrigued to see how it goes, but nothing has happened to say this is a must watch for me.
Okay.
Aside from the cast, I mean, Samuel Jackson, Emilia Clarke, come on. You got to be there for that. But
Yeah, I'll even take Sam off. Emilia Clarke. You got me. That was it.
Definitely
Only
put her in
casting
all
you
the
needed.
things.
Seriously.
You could have told me it's just Emilia Clarke, just herself, playing herself.
I'd have been here for it.
I would say, well, shit, if Jonathan Majors can do it, fuck it, let Amelia. But no, so does the Skrull aspect appeal to you at all? Because I know Joel's sitting there just like, can we get past these things? Like, can we get past this? Multiverse, time travel, let's get back to normal. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Does the Skrulls intrigue you at all, Mike?
not really, because I feel like that should have been Captain Marvel. Like, if you're going to do a Skrull invasion, it should have started there. Like, at least plant the seeds and the ideas of that there. And I don't think they did a really good job of that. So
think there's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
bad things they did with that movie.
I don't know what to make of the Skrulls in the MCU. And so, especially with like the character of Talos, it's like I don't really like you, and I'm kind of sick of you. You've only been around a little bit, but I just twice. But I don't care about Talos, and so I have nothing aside from I like Nick Fury, so I'm gonna watch this show. That's
I
really
will
where
say,
I'm at right now.
The
Go ahead.
one thing Captain Marvel did that I did love was the swerve of Talos. Like, I'm thinking Talos this whole time is the main villain, right? And I'm like, oh man, like, okay, he's gonna be the face of the Skrulls. They're like, no, he's a good guy. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
I
Like,
didn't like that.
huh?
I didn't like the switch.
I like
That
it
was
because oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that's just the one thing that always bothered me from Captain Marvel. Like, why did you switch?
I appreciated it because you were making Marvel, essentially that's what his character was supposed to be, the villain. So to make them both the villain was like, it doesn't need for that. But I also maybe did this character also for you to make the swerve. Yanrog is who they called him, but we know he was supposed to be Marvel.
Marvel was Marvel. I know we don't like it, but
Well, I'll never acknowledge that shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know if they know who the fuck that was. I'm trying to think here because you make a good point. I think the problem, Mike, is not utilizing the Skrulls just sporadically from Captain Marvel to now, and you telling us now you're going to use them in a very big way. And it's like, well, there's a lot of time between when Captain Marvel came out and now that you couldn't have sprinkled it somewhere in between there. So I guess now you're gonna pull a lot of work in Secret Invasion. So it puts the task very heavily in their hands, but it also means that we'll see it a lot after this show. The scrolls popping up. But really quickly, before I go to Trayvon, Mike, did you hear about the Marvels? About what the essential premise of that movie is?
No.
So apparently, every time Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, or
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel
Yeah.
use their powers, it triggers something that swaps them. So, like, every time their powers are triggered, they swap places, essentially.
Oh my gosh, I fear for Kamala's life if she swaps places with Carol in space.
So that's why when they were saying
that's
that
what
it's
we
kind of
gotta
like
do.
a space journey, essentially, that they could end up on like a musical planet or whatever the hell, it makes it a lot more funny because picture if Carol Danvers knows about this musical planet, but she's there and it swaps, and now Kamala Khan is there. And she's just like, what is this? Like,
No, she's going to be
where am
saying
I?
it.
That's why, well, you know that for sure. But it just makes this movie feel a lot funnier, knowing that it's an essential, consistent swap that they have to essentially figure out and stop before they end up in the wrong places. So I'm like, I like that. And I only brought that up, Mike, because you were saying, wouldn't the Skrulls be more apropos for Captain Marvel? And I brought it up because I'm like, I like what they're doing with the Marvels more now than using something for the Skrulls, because this sounds way more entertaining.
What I meant was the first Captain Marvel movie. Like, you introduced them
I got
there.
you. I'm sorry. I got you.
And yeah, so it's like, it felt like they should have done, if they were going to do a Secret Invasion, they should have planted the seeds in Captain Marvel 1 and then have that be the next phase instead of the multiverse side.
They planned.
I feel like they did.
They did and they didn't, Trayvon. So what they did was they planted the seeds for the war between the Kree and the Skrull. But the problem is you've done nothing to showcase us what's been happening with that said war, which is why I said Secret Invasion is going to be pulling a lot, because there's a lot of questions that Captain Marvel's movie gave us that you got to answer on top of whatever questions you're now giving us. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very interesting. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trayvon. Your thoughts on Secret Invasion?
First I want to talk about Captain Marvel. I feel like, yes, Talos was like, we're the good ones and everything like that, but that doesn't mean all his people believe that. That doesn't mean all his people agree. There can be ones that are just like, okay, that's nice that you're like all happy-go-lucky with us, be peaceful. That don't mean you want to be that way. So I feel like there's gonna be some of them that might just like, fuck you, we're gonna do what we want to do, and we're gonna take this planet because I was gone. Maybe there's gone now. Maybe there's literally gone. Maybe they got blown up. You never know. Like, maybe they'll show us that eventually. Maybe they lost the war, and their planet is literally destroyed. So
I mean, you also got to keep in mind, what year did Captain Marvel take place? Like
1990s somewhere, right?
Yeah,
in the 90s.
Somewhere?
Yeah, in the 90s.
So it's almost like
I think
40
it's
years
90
MCU time.
95?
95.
Yeah, which is weird because you're essentially
95,
telling us it's been 40, almost 45 years since. And we're now just finding out what the fuck these Skrulls have been doing here. That's why I said to have not have dropped it in the MCU since Captain Marvel is weird, because you're now putting a lot of pressure on Secret Invasion to explain all of this.
Yeah, that's true. Also, all they have, we're just gonna see like quick little clips. Hey,
Well,
this is here.
Again,
this here,
I
this
have
here.
to see how they do that, because
Yeah.
to me that seems messy. Like, just, oh look, they've been. Well, why the fuck haven't I heard it? Like, why'd you wait to put it in this one small show instead of showing us periodically?
I think that's kind
of the MCU.
See, that's my argument for X-Men, but we're not gonna get there. Today, but I'm just saying, that's the.
Wait,
that's
what do you mean?
That's my problem with X-Men. Like, you can't act like they were always here. Like,
no, but
can't
remember,
just
me
pop
and
them
Joel
in.
kept telling you, if you're saying they live on an island,
you can't do that
isolated, why can't you do that?
No, not all like
They
that.
literally have done that in the
Because he
comics
doesn't like
before.
But that's now. I mean, there was a history before.
I mean,
Right,
if we're
that's
going
what
with
we're
the
saying.
idea, if we're going with the idea of this multiverse saga ending with a DC-like crisis event, you could just say New Earth, mutants exist, the end.
Yeah, period.
Right.
I mean, if you want, I just am more favorable to they have a history. It did not go well, which is why they have to be isolated. And it's an event that brings them back. and then they worked to repair that relationship that was severed, that forced them to go live on what's the name of the Genosha?
Krakoa.
No, Krakoa, but there is a Genosha, right?
I thought it was
Genosha.
Genosha,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
yeah.
That
Genosha-
is a definite easier way to explain it than Skrulls being here everywhere, all this time. Like, that is the easy way of like, hey, quick scene, hey, this happened to the X-Men a long time ago. They've been here. Boom. I guess that is true. It could work, but I still won't like it. But
That's
you know,
how it
whatever.
is, though. Like,
Once
you
you
know.
get over
You
it
do-
from the initial movie and they're just there, you're good.
yeah,
But
they'll
you
get
do know,
over it.
If I
Trayvon,
get
how
Storm Road, I'll be
problematic.
fine. Yeah.
So wait, what are you saying you want? That mutants just
I
got
don't know.
created?
I just don't get. I don't know how to go do it.
I don't either. That's why I don't think about
That's
it.
the problem.
Let it
I
happen.
just don't. I
So
can't
wait,
help but think
so
about it.
Why are you so gung ho on not liking that?
Because I don't like.
version
I don't
if
like
you
that
have
either. But I don't have another option, so I'm just like, wherever we get it, whatever. It's just hard for me to like grasp. Well, now you have these characters, and now you're gonna somehow sprinkle them in here. I don't know.
The way Trayvon went, well, I hate your idea, but I don't have one, so yeah.
I
that's
mean,
it.
I get where he's coming from though, because like if you're telling me that the X-Men have this rich history that has existed throughout the beginning of time, essentially, and you're gonna be like, yeah, but we haven't seen them because they were over there. That's kind of weird. And I
But
totally
it puts you
get
in a difficult spot because you can't say that they've now been created.
right.
See,
but
that's another
the
problem. So yeah.
Yeah, you
That's-
definitely can't say that.
That's just the problem that they have by not owning the X-Men.
I'd rather
Be able
just-
to do this at the beginning.
Let it happen. You know, they
Yeah,
had
that-
history. We just haven't been talking about them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta they rip this stupid Band-Aid off, this uncomfortable Band-Aid off. in
It's
the first
gonna
movie.
suck regardless.
Right. Whatever. Once you get past that first movie, that first eye-rolling explanation in like the first 10 minutes,
I do
move on
think-
and just ignore it.
I do think
Right.
I do think we're over. I do think we're overthinking it a little bit because remember how the Netflix shows did, right? Everybody got a backstory, and they were essentially telling you they've been living concurrent to the MCU, right? We've just never heard of those characters throughout the MCU, but they've been living in the events. They were talking about the attack on New York, right?
Yeah,
so
but
they
what-
showed
what-
you flashbacks of their origins. So I'm like, you very well could do that and say that you've been living through all of this. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds like, well, why didn't you help? But literally nobody asked that of the Defenders. Like, well, why didn't you help in New York? You're in New York. Nobody cared.
Still trying
You
to
know
figure
what I'm
out if
saying?
they're in the same universe. So
Also,
Well, we now-
it's
we
still
know they
gonna be
are.
weird. It's
No,
still gonna
weird
be
I won't
weird.
argue.
And it's gonna be on those one thing where it's like it's acceptable, but on some level you're just, that kind of sucks. Like
Yeah, I'll say this. Somebody out of our group here will be upset. But that is the cost of being an
it
MCU.
ain't gonna be me, dog.
It'll likely be me and Trayvon. We already know.
Yeah.
No, you say that, Mike, but where Trayvon will leave you alone holding the bags is when they go, yeah, and by the way, we brought Scarlet Witch with us. Trayvon will go, well, I don't give a fuck no more. So. Yeah,
I thought it was amazing.
It's like,
You look.
however you got here, I don't care.
You give me fully powered Storm. I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
that's,
Look at
don't
him.
like-
He's already looking to
don't
turn
like-
on you,
well-
Mike.
She's here. So,
He's already turning on you,
he
Mike.
would
Hang it
he
up.
would throw that bus right over you.
Right over you. And then back up and
I'm
drive again. Yeah, he's ready to do it.
but yeah, I'm just curious to see how they're gonna do this scroll thing. Like, it just you got to have a good explanation for this. Like, it's only 6 episodes too. Like, we can't. There's no time to be slow at the beginning.
I was
Like, I
shocked
need
this is
y'all
only
to-
6 episodes.
I need y'all to go. Like, this. It can't be having y'all talking at the bar for like 15-20 minutes. That
I
ain't,
will
that ain't
say,
what we're doing.
if they're gonna be 6 episodes,
not
it
it.
does mean that each episode will probably range between 50 to about 60 something minutes.
I hope so. Yes.
So it
Okay.
gives you a lot of story.
I hope
I'm
so.
just saying, if these episodes are 30 minutes and only 6 episodes for a narrative you haven't
Well, it'll
talked
be
about,
45 and 50
okay.
minutes
That's what I'm
of
saying. They're
credit.
gonna be like 45.
yeah. So this is what Kevin Feige said. I actually had to write about this once, so I remember it.
okay,
For this first phase of the Disney Plus shows, all of the comedies were going to be 30 minutes. So you had WandaVision and She-Hulk. But that also meant that they were going to be 9 episodes.
right.
All of the dramas, essentially, are going to be around 45 minutes to an hour. And they're going to be 6 episodes. So anytime that you know it's going to be 6 episodes, you're going to be around 45 minutes.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
issue is that we already know there's like 7 minutes worth of credits on
Yeah.
all of these shows.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, yeah, that 45 minutes to an hour means really like 38 minutes to 44. Like, you get a lot of
38 to
credits.
40 minutes.
Yeah, so
40 minutes.
what we want to hope for is probably a 50-minute runtime, just so we can get to 40 minutes of actual story.
Fingers fucking crossed. Did Secret Invasion thoughts?
I'm interested. Again, just because what the hell is going on? I feel like this is a little too late.
That's true.
You should have, like we've been saying this entire time, you should have been sprinkling again cute like clues.
Mhm.
But I mean, let's see how you're gonna do this. Is it gonna be an entire clusterfuck, or are you just gonna pull something out?
I mean, I still to this day feel like Feige has not given me something that I look at and I'm just like, this was sloppy, this was rushed, this was poorly executed. I feel like he's given me that periodically for different things, not all in one thing.
True.
So I'm like, I doubt this will be the first. This will be the first project he fucks up royally.
You know, the one thing that's about like that gives a little bit of faith in this is the way they did Mysterio, the way they made him be an employee or star in a scene that we've already seen. I just like that. I was like, that was really clever to me when I saw it.
I'm
Stuff like
not
that.
a fan of that
thought
because
it was
for the
clever.
longest, I kept saying at some point you have to stop connecting everything to Iron Man. Why
Well,
everything
it
is
wasn't
so
about Iron
centered
Man.
around Iron
It was
Man.
it wasn't about that. No, I'm
his
saying
whole-
No, I
that's
think
not
he's saying the re-showing of
The how
something
they
that we've
did it.
already seen.
Oh,
We're just
okay,
seeing it from
I
a
see
new
what you're saying.
perspective.
yeah, not about
The-
Iron Man.
The
Yeah.
explanation is clever.
Yeah.
The camera zoom and the freeze frame is honestly so good in that scene. It's great.
I get you. No, I get
Yeah,
you.
that was neat.
I thought you were saying it all connected.
No,
I'm like, that's
no,
where I
no.
want to get away. Fucking
Yeah.
Mysterio and Ultron both were Starkborn. That is fucking frustrating, bro. like that shit. Those. Okay.
Even
but
he's
yeah.
the hero.
Goodness gracious, man, it's killing me. But yeah, you're right. Seeing a flashback of like, oh shit, this moment, but with a scroll, like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
but those moments gotta hit.
Yeah,
And your
they did.
reveal at the end of this season has to be massive, but not big enough that we actually get like offended by. Like Joel's saying, it can't be Rhodey because he's about to get his own show, so it can't be that big. But it has to be big enough that I give a fuck. Like if you tell me it was Maria Hill, you really think I fucking care? I have no cares in the world. I struggle to care if it's Fury. So I'm like, it needs to be someone significant, but
Yeah,
not
we-
too big. And that's why I'm trying to
I don't
figure
know who
out
that
what
could
their
be.
gray area is. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think for him, I think the problem with if it was like Fury or whatever, we've known he willingly did it already. So it's like,
Yeah,
Okay.
Here's the
takes
crazy
steam
part,
out of it a
Trayvon.
bit.
Here's the crazy part. I'm still not convinced that motherfucker didn't die in Winter Soldier, and it's been a scroll this whole time. I'm still not convinced. So if it is
a
him,
scroll being another
I will
scroll,
100%.
a scroll have another scroll be
Yeah,
like,
passing
that's
it off
just-
like, hey, bitch, I'm busy today. You off? You got anything to do? All right, can you be Fury? All right, bet.
One is Earth Fury, one is Space Fury.
right. They have to separate, right? But yeah, so to me, it just needs to be someone that the audience knows and cares about, but it can't be somebody that hinders their own movie or show that's coming out. That's where the gray area comes in, and I'm like, well,
I've
God
been
bless
trying
you
to
for
really
that.
think, like, who could it be?
You see,
I don't know.
And this is the issue though.
that
Like,
we
if
would care about.
if they
Right.
planted the seeds early enough, like you guys seen Blade Runner. I know Juwan hasn't because it's an 80s movie.
I have seen Blade Runner.
So
I'm shocked.
you know, when you go back, you can see the eyes change whenever you're trying to figure out if somebody's a replicant or not.
Right.
And it would have been
Right.
so cool if in Endgame, you got to look and like Rhodey's eyes don't look quite right. They look like a scroll for a second. And those are Easter eggs you could have planted throughout all of the films that Rhodey has appeared in. So that reveal happens and you go back and you're like, oh my gosh, they tricked us for the last decade thinking that Rhodey was a real dude this entire time.
Yeah.
And-
I-
You
but
could have even just not acknowledged it and then had people just wondering, like, they never said anything. What is this? And like,
Well,
people
here's-
would have known.
Here's the thing. That's where you fuck up destroying all of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? Because you could have taken pieces of S.H.I.E.L.D. that stand out, that we go, oh, okay, you've used them numerous times, and we thought they were just an asshole. Turns out they're a Skrull. but you completely obliterated S.H.I.E.L.D., so it gets rid of that being a secret organization that could have been filled with Skrulls, right?
It's still around.
So
if
then you
ask
go,
me.
well, sure, but I think they'll just get transitioned into AIM members when MODOK comes out, or Yellow Jacket MODOK, whatever that thing is.
Or sword.
But yeah, I think that's where the gray area is that you have to work in. But Joel, I'll go to you to end this out because I know you care the least. How excited are you about Secret Invasion?
I'm excited that it's in like the first event series. It's not specifically about one character, even though Nick Fury is the lead.
As you say, he would beg to differ.
Well, it doesn't say fucking Nick Fury. It says
It's about
Secret
me,
Invasion.
motherfuckers.
The lead is the event itself, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing it through his eyes or his eye.
Damn, Joel.
And
Technically, still has both. One's just milky.
well, one works, one doesn't. So
That's fair.
You'd think he could have had that fixed by now. Thor had his eye fixed after one movie.
it's a badass scar.
I told you why he didn't have it fixed. I told you why he didn't have it fixed. He has not met Rocket Raccoon yet. Rocket's gonna meet him and go, oh, let me fix that ugly shit. Let me take this one.
That's
and
if
put a
Rocket
perfect
doesn't die in Guardians 3.
Goddamn, Didge, come on, man. Don't bring the moment down. Anyway, go ahead, Joel. Good.
They met at Stark's funeral, but let's go. Let's continue.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you right now, the likelihood that Fury took time to talk to that fucking raccoon, slim to none. He's lucky he didn't shoot him. Fury's like, the last time I saw a furry motherfucker, this happened. You're lucky I don't shoot you on sight. There's no way you talk to Rocket. No fucking. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, but aside from that part of it, I have no interest in guessing who the fuck anybody is. Whatever happens. I'm not going to be part of that bullshit. I'm sure even if I have to sit out those fucking MCRs, I will. I will not sit there and
I can't
speculate.
have that, Joel. I can't have that.
I'm
You
not.
don't have to speculate, but you 100% have to be there. I can't.
I'll give you my opinion on surprises.
Come on, because then Trayvon will feel like there's episodes he could sit out. I can't. That's anarchy. I can't have that.
I'm not gonna be a part of that. So, I'll just enjoy
mute it.
watching.
Just mute it. Like as soon as someone goes, I think mute, and then you come back in. Yeah, that's crazy. That's real crazy.
That's what I do all the time.
Damn.
No,
man.
I wasn't muted when I said that, was I?
Damn. And you know Mike only does that when I talk. You know that's when he goes. You know that's when he does.
He just
Damn
muted
you,
it.
Mike. Yeah. Damn you, Mike. But no, I mean, look, I think we're all excited for the things we got footage for, the things we know we will get footage for. We all believe that next month we'll get another Black Panther trailer. Maybe that is a little bit more explanation on
Next month, we better get one this month.
Honestly,
No,
don't win another one.
I kind of feel like okay. Don't listen to Trayvon.
I don't.
Feige.
You know what?
Black Panther.
Here's my problem, Didge. If we didn't get it, if they didn't release it during D23 to the world, it's just not coming this month. I believe it's coming next month. Because I'm like, wouldn't that have been the golden opportunity? Why would you skip that to make us wait a week or two to then drop it? Like,
I mean,
that's weird to me.
They did release a trailer for the folks at D23. They could easily
Yeah.
just drop it on Monday Night Football anytime during this month.
They could, but it then goes, well, you release Werewolf by Night, and I'm sure they saw it there too. You release Secret Invasion, I'm sure they saw it there too. You essentially wanted that to be exclusive. So that's why I said I could understand making us wait the month and then dropping it for us. That's what they did with Infinity War. That shit didn't drop right away. It dropped for San Diego Comic-Con.
So you're saying the second week of October we'll get a trailer?
Well, I didn't mean literally a month.
I'm just
Probably
saying,
the first week.
that ballpark.
Yes, around there. Yeah. Because then you can go. Your final trailer is beginning of November, and then it's just TV spots for the movie.
And it could be played in front of Black Adam too.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. This is exactly how I see it going. We got our first trailer, right? Our second trailer, I think, will be, like I said, around the first or second week of October. And then the ticket sale will be the final trailer, and then it's just TV spots. So you're talking about maybe towards the end of October is where the ticket sale final trailer will drop, and then, just TV spots till then. And man, will it be hard dodging those people that live on TV spots, man, posting shit. Oh, man, was that stressful for Spider-Man. Just like, God damn it, y'all. All right, we know. Shit. God, stop showing shit, assholes. But all right, guys. that's all we got. We broke down as much of this Marvel stuff as we could. All right. Make sure you guys stay tuned this Thursday for the MCR where we break down an all-new episode of She-Hulk. This will be the first one I have not seen. I'm very nervous to see what it is. Is it Daredevil? Who knows? Find out on an all-new Dragon Ball Z. Anyway. Also, this Thursday, stay tuned for The Last Scare. Also, make sure you guys check them out. We're heading into October. That is Jayla's holiday. Okay? So, a lot of things will be broken down. I'm really curious if at some point they'll break down Barbarians, because we just saw that, and that movie was fucking something. For sure. It was
crazy.
something.
Yeah.
It was,
I'm seeing it tomorrow night.
I saw your Twitter post, Trayvon.
Reluctantly.
Let me just say this. The tweet that you posted of the person saying how scary it was, scary is not the problem with that movie. I'd say sickening and weird is more so the ideology of that movie.
It makes me feel like from the trailer anyway, makes me feel like Strangers. And that movie.
No. Hell no.
No? Okay.
Hell no, it's not that.
But that movie still haunts me.
Look at me.
I mean, this
Time out.
suspenseful.
Look me in my eyes, Trayvon. When you see the movie, it'll be like anything you could have ever imagined that movie being.
Oh, okay.
Because when we saw it, we just went, the fuck?
I can see from the trailer. It's like I see where it can get dumb, but yeah.
It don't get dumb. It get
Okay.
weird.
It's,
It
Okay.
I can't wait to
it's
go see
clever,
it.
but it's like wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets really.
It's
weird.
suspenseful. It definitely like you're like, oh shit.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will say for you, Trayvon, there is some black girl magic. There you go. That's all. That's all I'll give you. There is some black girl magic.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right, guys. That's all we got for you on this all new episode of Much Ado About Nothing. I want to thank Mike, who I forced firing if he did not join this episode. That is a true story.
Can you see how Jayla just bailed on me? By the way,
Jayla did go. You got it. You got it, bro. You go ahead and have a good night. I want to thank Didge for coming in right around his topic of double D's, aka Daredevil. I appreciate it, Didge. That is now synonymous. Didge and Daredevil. That is just it goes together, right? It just goes together. It's apparent. I want to thank Trayvon for keeping his magic and witch stuff to a 2. You usually add about a 15. You were at a 2 today. I appreciate.
I got told that Echo might be Phoenix. I'm here. So
Why would you bring that up? As I'm trying to end this.
I was just saying.
I forgot that.
It's something I'm thinking about right now. So yeah.
And I also want to thank Joel for putting that narrative out there. Now Trayvon will believe that forever Echo can fly and have superpowers and do all kinds of shit.
Powers. I don't know what kind of powers. But
Yeah, but now Trayvon's making them up. You've now created a narrative for him. Thank you, Joel. Anyway, we will see you guys this Thursday for MCR and The Last Scare. But till then, peace, and I hate magic and witches and everything Trayvon loves. Peace.
Peace.
Plus Ultra.
Interesting.